45 seconds remaining. Seconds remaining. Fifteen seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Maggie and Perloff on the Infinity Sports Network.
Got a pair of teams sitting at 1 and 2. Who is more desperate, the Ravens or the Chiefs? Welcome to the show, Maggie Gray, Andrew Perloff. We'll get to some baseball a little bit later in the show. Home runs all over the place last night. An epic collapse that's happening on both the Midwest and on the East Coast. We've got a lot to cover today, which is super fun. Our King of the Mountain project is back up. The 1984 San Francisco 49ers head-to-head against the 1983 LA Raiders, Pearl, one of the more interesting teams maybe of all time. But let's start with the Ravens and the Chiefs, teams that do not remind me at all of the 1983 Raiders, to be honest, because they might have some characters, but I'm not sure about the Raiders, the grit, especially from the the Ravens aspect of it. You know, I think you and I might agree that the Ravens are probably the more desperate team here, but they've been unable to close out games. And this is now a theme that's going back several years.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not even worried about the closeout. Like, they are built, somehow, they built the exact wrong team. If you think about who they are as a team, the Baltimore Ravens won 2 Super Bowls in this millennium. And really, the first one especially, they are a defensive team. We think of Baltimore Ravens, who's the first player who jumps to mind?
Ray Lewis.
Or Ed Reed, right. Sure. It's got to be defense. And now they're the worst defense in the league. They're ranked number 32. They have built this team to stop a Chiefs team from 5 years ago. They have all these first-round quarterbacks and first-round safeties and wide receivers. They're ready for a shootout with anyone. And all of a sudden, the top teams in the league totally went a different way. The Bills run the ball all the time. The Chiefs run the ball all the time. The Eagles, all they do is run the ball. So the the Ravens are left playing a 2021 version of football. And you see it, obviously, week 1 against Buffalo, classic shootout. They can't stop anybody. That's super fun to watch, but it's not going to win you a Super Bowl. You can't possibly be, Maggie, the worst defense in the NFL and win a Super Bowl.
Okay.
So I picked them to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Or to be in the Super Bowl. I already regret it completely because you can see their defense is not Super Bowl worthy.
Okay, but can I just point back to last season where the defense was terrible to start the season, and they did, get tougher, stiffen up, if you will, as the season went on.
That might have been their level of competition. I mean, they were barely present for the first 3 quarters of that Bills game. I mean, the Bills did whatever they wanted
in the
on a snowy field.
Yeah, in the playoff game.
Yeah, I mean, I think when push comes to shove, I think you can run all. The point is, they are vulnerable against the run. They had built up a pass defense. And on offense, they have all their first-round picks are wide receivers. They drafted more first-round wide receivers than anybody. Like, you should be drafting defensive players at this point. Like, I think they went 2 all in to help Lamar Jackson. Because, you have Rashad Bateman, and you have Zay Flowers, and you have Mark Andrews, and Isaiah Likely, and all these weapons. What good is that if the other team is running for 5 yards a carry?
I guess, though, they did spend a first-round draft pick on Kyle Hamilton, and he's become an all-time safety. Here's the thing about that. We'd be screaming from the hilltops if they didn't get Lamar Jackson more help, because everyone knew that offense needed to open up a little bit more. And then they signed Derrick Henry. To me, this is all about the Derrick Henry fumbles, and nobody could account for him fumbling 3 times, once in each game. He's gone 7 seasons of his career with 3 fumbles or fewer, and now he's got 3 in the first 3 games of the year. It's an anomaly. It's not going to continue that way.
But how are you going to win a football game if you cannot get the other team off the field under any circumstance?
Well, Justin Madubuike is going to come back at some point. So
he wasn't effective when he played. I mean, their D-line is all hurt, but I think there's good reason to believe they're going to be the worst defense in the NFL.
I mean, it's funny
so
because
far.
I just can't get there with my brain that they're not going to figure out something on defense.
I mean, they all their resources are on all these quarterbacks and stuff. Like their O-line, their D-line, which is all hurt right now, is not really, there's not a lot of resources in there anyway. They have Roquan Smith is supposed to be their stopper.
Yeah, they traded 2 first-round picks for him and gave him a huge contract.
Where was he against Detroit? The announcers are like, is Roquan even playing tonight? They said that. I didn't even say that. He is a non-factor. They are soft as tissue paper on defense. Now, here's the thing. The Chiefs might not be able to do anything about it. Chiefs can't run on anybody, but we'll see. This is sort of the good test. If Baltimore can't stop Kansas City's run game, which has been awful through 3 games, then they're not going to stop anybody.
So the other thing, you do have Malachi Stark, so they also spent a first-round pick on.
He's more of a cover-ish safety.
Yeah, but you're asking them to draft defensive players in the first round.
Defensive linemen. That's what I'm saying. Like they're built as look at how many quarterbacks they've taken over the last 10 years and safeties. Like they're sort of geared up to stop a Tyreek Hill Chiefs attack.
Yeah, Travis Kelce.
They're the way they're built. This is actually Dan Orlovsky was going over this. They're built as a cover team, not a run-stopping team. But I think a lot of it has to do with Lamar. You said they had to get weapons for Lamar.
Yeah.
Why? Why would you have to get weapons for Lamar? He is a superior quarterback. That's one guy who doesn't need weapons. Like, he's going to make weapons. I think they underestimated how good a passer he was. He could have made a bunch of, third-round picks into All-Stars. They didn't need to spend all these first-round picks on him at all.
Well, that's maybe a little revisionist history because it's a little chicken or the egg. They had a different offensive coordinator. Greg Roman was their guy, who's now the offensive coordinator for the Chargers. They had him, and it was like Lamar was running. I felt like Lamar was also running so much. He was getting hurt. He couldn't finish seasons. You had Snoop Huntley starting a playoff game. So I think they felt like, and I can't blame them for this. We're going to now dissect the Ravens, but I can't blame them for saying Lamar's running too much. He's taking too many hits. He's not able to finish the season. Meanwhile, we're giving him $250 million. He's got to have more weapons. So they put some investment on that side of the ball, changed offensive coordinators. I liked what they did.
Really?
To me, this is like they're a desperate team. No doubt about that.
Yeah.
But again, they had that Bills game dead to right. They took it. That was an epic collapse. Epic. And we know a little something about collapses. We're talking about the Tigers and the Mets a little bit later on in the show. Collapses may be the theme of the show. But they collapsed in that game 1, and then they're there in week 3, and Derrick Henry fumbles again.
Yeah, but first of all, they probably weren't going to win that game anyway.
What, against the Bills?
No,
it was
the
like
Lions.
100-0. Oh.
The last one you talked about. Yeah, I mean, like the Lions.
I don't know that it was a tie game in the fourth quarter.
But whoever had the ball last was winning that game, and the way the clock was setting up, the Lions were going to have it because
if Derrick Henry didn't fumble. There was about 8 minutes left to go, I think, in the game when he fumbled.
There was zero resistance to the Lions. I mean, zero. The Lions could have put up 60 if they wanted to. I'm surprised you're saying this. No,
the Lions will put up 60 if they want to. They're not a team that ever takes their foot off the gas.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Well, no, but they were playing ball control against the Ravens, and once that Henry fumble happened, then it was just too late.
Yeah,
I think. Yeah, I don't think this is an accident. Even Cleveland ran the ball really well on Baltimore. I think there's something really well. First of all, injuries are a big part of this. I think their defense is broken. This is going to be the big test on Sunday afternoon. Isaiah Pacheco couldn't find a hole if it was the size of the Grand Canyon.
Yeah.
If he can run against this team, then boom, forget it. Baltimore's just total toast. And it might be because if you look at their depth chart, it's questionable. I just think that there's something really wrong. And you saw it, why are they winning in the playoffs? It's not, you could say, it's Lamar, but also I think there are games where their defense has come up really small.
888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. So obviously this is one of the huge games of the weekend. You've got Dallas welcoming in the Green Bay Packers and then the Ravens and the Chiefs. And we're asking you who's more desperate. I mean, again, these Ravens, I guess I understand what you're saying about the defense. Totally understand it. And Ronnie Staley, their left tackle, is also questionable for this game. But I'm not panicking yet. That Bills game was an abomination for them. They lost by a point on the road. The Lions game, not great. It was a one-score game, ultimately, when all was said and done. Where my big question is not so much about this season, or they can make the playoffs, stuff like that. That's going to be fine. It's just they have an issue with closing games. And that's the weird part to me because you have Derrick Henry. He's the ultimate closer. And it just doesn't feel like they're able to find that formula.
You got to, well, how do you close games?
Well, on
You
defense
rush
also.
the passer.
But run the ball is also a good way to close games.
Who are famous closers? Like Chris Jones is a closer. Nick Bosa was a closer. You need to put the other team in a pass-first situation and destroy them. And I can't remember last time they scared you on defense. So I don't think of running back. I guess Derrick Henry could be a closer, but again, I don't think they win that Detroit game. I mean, I didn't see Detroit ever even have a moment where they couldn't have just, Jared Goff could do whatever he wanted. He was sitting back there alone. How many sacks did they get?
They ripped off some really big runs, too. Remember the David Montgomery, he had 2 big ones.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they ran at will, but, too, then Jared Goff just, if they did blitz him, he just found somebody wide open every time. I think the Ravens are in big trouble. Like, even if they get to the playoffs, I expect their defense to just get run all over and they'll lose.
So here's the other question about the Ravens. It's the mental aspect, right? Because if you start the season, the collapse to Buffalo, who you've not been able to beat in the postseason, then you lose to the Lions, and if you lose to the Chiefs, which they're about a 2.5-point favorite, I think that's what it opened as. I don't know if that line moved a little bit. But if you lose to 3 of the best teams that you're supposed to be peers with, right? Like you're supposed to be on that level. It's so early in the season. I know athletes have a way of compartmentalizing this stuff, but if you're a coaching staff, if you're anyone on that team, you come into the season and the only team you could beat in the first 4 weeks of the Browns?
Well, yeah, but I mean, they lost the Chiefs early last season. Does that last? Because, as I mentioned, their entire defense is out this week.
I'm just saying, you're getting these early tests with the best teams in the NFL. You're telling me that they're not built to win a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
If you can't beat any of the better teams in the first 4 weeks of the season, what does that say about you?
Well, I don't think it's a mental thing. I honestly think it's a roster thing at this point. Look, I don't know if they trade for help or something, Usually, this is where somebody signs Zadarius Smith, or they need something. They need some juice. This is not the Ravens I grew up with at all. This is not the Ravens that we know at all. I mean, right now they are so far and away the worst defense. I don't even think they're going to be able to catch up unless they got a lot of Cincinnati and Pittsburgh and Cleveland, which should help a lot. And I think the second half of last year, if you look at their opponents, maybe that helped. So I guess they'll even out, but I'm really worried about this team. And it's not about blowing leads. If they're up against Buffalo, think about those drives the Bills had at the end. There was just it was so easy. It looked like a pitch and catch with Josh Allen. There's something wrong. And I love Kyle Hamilton, but is there a single game where he hasn't walked off injured?
It's a problem. 888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. On the flip side, if you're the Chiefs, I mean, we can talk about Rashee Rice and Xavier Worthy. They're not miracle workers. Okay.
Ooh, I don't know. I think Rashee Rice is legit.
Okay, fine. But, do you have the other weapons that actually will make a defense have to respect everyone on your offense? Because Rashee Rice can be great, just like we see Malik Neighbors is great. What happens? You put 3 guys on him. Kelsey, you don't even have to cover anymore.
But now you've discovered you have Tyquan Thornton, who's awesome, and you have Xavier Worthy coming back this week.
We'll see, right? How does he come back from that injury? I'm just saying that we're treating, Rashee Rice coming back like he's Jerry Rice,
Well, yeah, but you're combining him with Worthy, so you get Jonathan Taylor and Jerry Rice. And I guess that makes Kelsey Brent Jones, but I think it's the combo, and I think you have discovered something in Tyquan Thornton. They should throw to that guy all the time.
Okay,
he's great on deep balls.
I know that the Chiefs had a really gaudy record last year, but they had all those guys last year, and their offense stunk.
Well, they didn't have Rice. They didn't have Rice. He tore his ACL in week 4. Worthy took a long time to learn the NFL, and Thornton wasn't there, so they didn't have any of those guys.
Well, Thornton is a guy who was on the scrap heap.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Juju Smith-Schuster, these guys were on the scrap heap.
Their offense tanked when Rice got hurt last year. So I think that it's one of those teams. Eventually, this might end up working out well if the Chiefs can just win enough games to stay in it. I think they've got to form this really good wide receiving core through this adversity, possibly. And listen, you're a Bills fan. You know that all of a sudden you're going to be like, wait, where did these Chiefs receivers come from?
The Chiefs have beaten my Bills every way you can possibly beat a team. One more painful from the next. I'll tell you this. If they can't run the ball, it's not going to matter.
Well, yeah, their O-line is the big concern, right? Like they've had trouble cobbling together this unit. And I mean, we saw it fall apart against Tom Brady and the Bucs in the Super Bowl. We saw it fall apart completely last year, and then they're relying on a rookie. So that to me is the pressure point on the Chiefs. Like that's what I would worry about. Receivers, you always say you're like receivers are a generic person. Now you're saying they don't have enough weapons?
No, I'm not a receivers or a generic person. I'm just saying that you really need Rashee Rice to take this massive, not even a step up. He is a really good player. But you're acting like the Chiefs' offensive woes are really going to disappear overnight. And I don't know if I see it that way. And I'm scared to death of Xavier Worthy. No one can stop that guy. No one can catch him.
Yeah.
But if you can't run the ball, you become really predictable.
Worthy's probably playing with like a brace or something on his shoulder, and he's not big to start with. I feel like you could really take that guy out. I think Rashee Rice is the perfect antidote because he's a possession receiver.
Yeah.
They make him, he kind of takes Travis Kelce's role. He's a security blanket for Mahomes. I think they'll be a different team. The question is, can they survive? I got to be honest. I think this game is gigantic for both teams. I don't think it's a pressure on the Ravens. I mean, I think you cannot fall to 1-3 and feel good about yourselves. I think this is a massive game for both sides.
So who is more desperate, do you think, for the win?
I think Baltimore, because their schedule's probably a little bit harder moving forward. But honestly, I think both teams, whoever comes out of this at 1-3, I think we're all going to write them off. Don't you? Or do you think that we can be more patient?
I think where I'd be more worried about the Chiefs, and I know they've got the history, and when you get to the playoffs, obviously that's a different animal, but the Chargers look legit. They've already beaten every team in the division once.
Yeah.
The Ravens will most likely even still win the AFC North. Cincinnati is, if Burrow can't play, they're toast. Cleveland is Cleveland. And, Pittsburgh is not really impressing me very much.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So, to me, the Chiefs, they've proven they can win on the road, but I don't think there's a path to the division, and we're not even in October.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it'd be more of a wild card path. I mean, the Chargers tend to get massive waves of injuries, though. And we've already actually seen a little bit. That's the one thing about the Chargers. We've gotten excited about them in the past, and they have fallen apart. We'll see if Harbaugh can stop the charging.
Yeah.
That is a really good point about the AFC North. I guess it's up to Aaron Rodgers to stop this team.
Good luck. He's taken a lot of hits so far this year. All right, the theme of the day is going to be collapses. 888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476, because we're witnessing some pretty crazy stuff here with 4 games left to go in the Major League Baseball season. I'm not sure people live their lives. Maybe if it's not in your market, maybe you're not paying attention. What's going on in Detroit is historic. We've never seen a collapse like what's happening with the Tigers.
I'll never see it coming.
Good thing the Lions are off to a good start, or else people in Detroit might be losing it. They already are. They have to be.
Get the out of here, Detroit.
Forgot about the Pistons. Okay.
They'll be all right.
They're gonna be fine.
They'll make the playoffs.
888-710-4ISN.
Unlike the Tigers.
I mean, everyone's hurt in the Eastern Conference. They should make the playoffs. 888-710-4476. So, who is more desperate for a win this weekend, the Ravens or the Chiefs? We got tons of college football for you today with Oregon traveling to Penn State. Going to be a whiteout. You got Alabama, Georgia this weekend, so lots of cool stuff. It's the Maggie and Perloff Show. Let's go. 888-710-4ISN.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. 4 minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. Forty-five seconds remaining. Thirty seconds remaining. Fifteen seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Welcome back. Maggie and Perloff Show. Interesting in the break discussion. Manny and EJ have not seen Forrest Gump.
No. I'm not surprised by that.
But they haven't seen really anything. I think there are other people their age who have seen some of these movies. Like EJ's never seen Godfather.
That's a choice, though. He doesn't like mob movies.
Yeah, but it's still like I think his lack of certain movies is an anomaly even for his age. Like there's some massive ones he hasn't seen.
That's two people on this side of the glass who haven't watched Godfather.
Yeah.
It's too long.
It's too long.
My favorite movie is like 2
but there's
hours
just like I don't know. I just feel like it's hard to judge an entire generation who's never seen anything. Like, I don't
Like
know.
your
Manny,
daughter.
have you ever seen a single movie? Have you seen 5 movies in your life?
Are you familiar with the movie Toy Story?
Yeah, so have
And
you seen all 4 Toy Stories?
Oh, big time. Are
And
you
he's a
kidding me?
big fan of Saving Private Ryan, we found
Oh,
out.
I love
Yes.
Saving Private Ryan.
Heartwarming. That movie's long.
My favorite movie of all time is The Green Mile, which is like 3.5 hours.
I was going to say, okay, so it's not
So
an
these are
attention
all right
span
around the
thing.
same year as
Right.
Forrest Gump.
And
Some
I'm the
big
same
time-
guys.
Listen, I'm not
Literally.
Going,
Toy Story was 1995.
And
It's just a Tom Hanks
He's
look.
Again,
also in
funny,
that.
funny enough, yes, exactly. Funny enough, Toy Story, one of my favorite movies, Tom Hanks. The Green Mile, one of my favorite movies, Tom Hanks. But I still haven't watched Forrest Gump. I want to get around to it. Where's the streaming?
They're all the same exact year. That's weird, man.
What year is that?
Well, Forrest Gump was 94, Toy Story was 95, and Green Mile was right after Forrest Gump.
By the way, there have been 37 Marvel Studios movies, so don't say I haven't seen
That's
any
true,
movies.
yeah. EJ
Well, you're
just has
a
he has
sci-fi
taste.
fantasy movie guy. Yeah.
And comic book.
No, you've seen a million movies.
Yeah, I've
like-
seen Star Wars. Yeah, I've seen all that other stuff.
But have you ever watched the SpongeBob SquarePants movie?
I saw the play SpongeBob. SquarePants. It was terrible.
Yeah, wasn't that trash?
It was awful.
Yeah,
it
I
was
heard.
like one of the worst productions I've ever seen.
Well, you're wondering why are we talking about Forrest Gump? And Perloff believes
Yeah, how
that
did we get to Forrest Gump?
Well, I'll tell you. I'm always reverse engineering this.
Thank you.
What happened was we did a great debate yesterday, and we asked you which college football coach is most identifiable with one program. And
Oh,
we got
yeah, Head Coach Gump.
we had tons of responses. You guys were dynamite on this yesterday. It was super fun discussion. And Perloff won the poll, 40% over Bobby Bowden, Nick Saban, Lou Holtz, and we didn't have space for Joe Paterno because that's just the way Twitter works. Bear Bryant won, and Perloff thinks it's because of someone plays Bear Bryant for about 14 seconds in the movie Forrest Gump.
Yeah. Even if you're not a massive college football fan, you've seen Forrest Gump, and you saw Forrest Gump was an incredible kick returner for the Crimson Tide.
Yeah.
And Bear Bryant, who seems like, even in that movie, quite despicable.
Yeah.
But also,
the
too,
13 seconds he's in
I
it,
said it was the hat, that checkered hat. The gear is very important, too, in that kind of debate. You have a look going. And I don't know, Bear Bryant is so iconic. I think everybody else, Manny didn't get Joe Pa on the poll. That one would have probably been second because he was there for 80 years.
Probably would have been first.
Yeah, I mean, and Maggie, you kind of helped me out because you were like, well, there was another coach in a movie, and it was Nick Saban.
Yeah,
But he
was in The Blind Side.
He was in The Blind Side as the LSU coach.
Right.
Which made you realize, Nick Saban had a much bigger life than just Alabama, which kind of gutted EJ's choice.
Well, I mean, and Miami. He has the Dolphins, which I know is kind of like a asterisk now or, a footnote in history, but that did happen.
Yeah, I'm sure he wants everyone to forget it.
It's got a famous flame out. To be
Totally
honest.
famous flame out, and also was always like kind of in some ways shadowed Saban just a hair because it was, would he ever go back to the pros to prove that he could make up for the Miami debacle?
Well, there might be a lesson in that. We also mentioned no one chose Steve Spurrier in Florida, but I think Steve Spurrier's ill-fated time as the Washington head coach kind of ruined that a little bit, because you also remember that.
That was like a blink, though.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same exact thing as Urban Meyer with the Jaguars. Saban was a disaster. Saban was, how long was he in Miami? 3 years? I think
it was that
I don't
long.
think it was
Might
that
have been 2
long.
years.
I think it was two.
Too. So I think that's a good lesson for Dan Lanning and all these other high-end college football coaches. Like, you might not want to jump to the NFL because those are some pretty good coaches and it didn't work out.
Yeah, I mean, set Nick Saban up, though, for the next job. It didn't really set him up, but he was able to take that next job, which ended up being Alabama. And the rest is history.
So you think it was all according to
The long
plan?
con.
No, I just think, Urban Meyer is a great example. You can't coach the two sports the same way.
Oh, Urban Meyer's that one is legacy defining, which is crazy considering how much success he had in college.
I don't know. I mean, I understand some of the moral, ethical reasons it might be.
It's just it's not even moral, ethical. It's like memes. It's just like internet jokes.
Yeah, Spurrier was bad when he came back, too. There were a lot of reports that he's spending more time on the golf course than in the coaching room.
Well, listen, when Congressional's right there, who's to blame him?
Good
All right,
point.
888-710-4ISN. We actually will get some golf chatter in later today. The Ryder Cup is kicking off on Friday, and Liguori is going to join us in the final hour of the show. Meanwhile, we have a poll question up, and I'm curious, because Bogus is sitting here now. The Detroit Tigers late season collapse, okay? This is happening, guys, like right in our faces. They had a 14-game lead in the AL Central on July 9th. They now have lost not only the division, they're a game back and they don't hold the tiebreaker. It has been epic. This is a team that spent 148 days in first place and have lost it now going 5-15 in September. And it's been a comedy of errors. It's like every single thing of this team went wrong all at the same time, Pearl. Like the manager's making weird decisions he never would make before. The pitching staff totally collapsed, and no one can hit. And they played the Guardians, who have their number.
So
it's crazy.
They've had 5 games, 3 last week and 2 this week, to stop all of this head-to-head with the Guardians, and they've lost all 5 of them.
So
They're 4-8 against Cleveland all year.
Even if they win 2 of those games, this is a lot different.
They can't buy. I think they've won 1 game in the last 2 weeks. It is just considering the high of the high where they were. It's bananas. So we're asking you on X today, Maggie Perloff, is this more funny or sad?
So I tried to get in on this action last night on the old betting app. I was like, yeah. So I heard that the Cleveland became the favorite before yesterday's game. So I thought, oh my God, I'm going to get Detroit at plus money. They can't keep losing. Then they lost. Challenge accepted. That bet's already gone. Now it's up. They're plus 425 to win this division. Like, that ain't good. Like,
no, they have to go play the Red Sox to finish out the season.
The odds are not good. I thought
definitely.
Did anyone else here think, oh well, they can't? Like, they're gonna have a little bump at the end here to put this to the end. Like, can't be this bad, really.
We're talking historic here.
Yeah.
Like, they're going to be on these lists. You have a 14-game lead in the AL Central in July. I mean, you can go back to the Boston Massacre in 1978, Pearl. Your Philadelphia Phillies in 1964.
Phillies, yeah.
You can go to the Red Sox in 2011. I think Tom Verducci wrote a book about that.
Even our Mets blew a 7-game lead in 2.5 weeks. It seemed mathematically impossible. And
what year was that?
That was 2007.
2007.
Yeah.
And that was also punctuated by the fact that they were closing down the old Shea Stadium.
Yeah.
And instead of doing the farewell ceremony before the game, the final game of the year that they needed to win to get the playoffs, they did it after. Mets lose 8-1 to the Marlins. And then it was the saddest goodbye ceremony of all time.
Wait a minute. Something doesn't line up there in my timeline because Citi Field opened in 2009.
Yeah, no, that was the second. That was the second collapse.
It was 2008. There was a second collapse.
Yeah.
2007 was not the first. That was the
God,
2008.
I'm sorry, guys.
You don't
No, you're
understand
right.
what it's like to be a Mets fan, man.
I don't. Go Yankees.
It all
Thank
mixes
God.
together.
I got my wires crossed there for a second.
Hey, the Yankees had a pretty good collapse in 2004, as I recall.
That was before time existed, so that doesn't really count.
But
That's
that one was at least like a very small amount of time. This Tigers thing has been like the long goodbye.
I think losing in baseball is the hardest fan experience because it's so slow.
Without a doubt.
But there is also
It's the slow death.
But there's also a suddenness to this because they were also still up by 12 games at the end of August.
The Tigers.
The Tigers.
Yeah.
They've only won 5 games basically in the last month. So like it has
They play every
played
day.
out, but it's also been an absolute drop off the cliff in the last 3 weeks.
And someone who's becoming a little bit of an expert in collapses because I root for the Jets and the Mets.
Yeah.
The hard thing too is to also watch that other team win every day.
Yes.
Because it's
The
like,
Guardians,
God, you guys can't lose once. Just lose a couple of times.
Right.
Give me a break. Like that's the thing that kills me during these situations.
Cleveland is 16-4
Right,
in September.
It's not a one-person thing. You need a
Right.
partner in this. The other guy has to win while you're losing, and they keep winning in
Takes
Cleveland.
2 to tango.
There's a line in the movie, I think it's Fletch, which none of these people have obviously seen, where he's pretending to know that someone died. He goes, yeah, it was so sudden in the end. What do you mean he was sick for years? Well, at the very end, it was very sudden. Yeah, I don't know if it was. This is quite sudden, Bogues.
It's been horrible.
But again, August 25th, they had a 12.5-game lead. It's September 25th today. In a month, 12 games. That is pretty sudden still.
Is that bad?
Also, it's like whack-a-mole. I can see the fans of Detroit, if they already haven't now just like turned completely to the Lions, but it's like you're crashing out a little bit. Like, you want to blame the front office. They didn't do anything at the deadline. Then you blame the manager. He's making stupid decisions. Then it's the pitching staff. Then it's guys can't hit. Then it's the fielding. It's everything every night.
Yeah. The only thing that's saving them from the outside is that there's no reason to enjoy this, like from the outsiders, right? Like they're not a
Revel
hated
in
team.
it. It's not the Mets with a $300 million
Right.
payroll.
Like
Okay.
you could can you name more than 5 Tigers?
They've got cool names on them.
They do, but so unless you want to hate on Spencer Torkelson, like you don't have a target here. This is not the Red Sox, it's not the Yankees, it's not the Dodgers, it's not payroll. There's no evil. It's not an A-Rod team. Like there's nobody to direct any sarcasm at. Like, there's nothing. You got nothing here.
In fact, it's like the opposite. I think they've been one of the best stories in baseball. They were one of the best stories last year, and I think the start they had to the season was one of the best stories in baseball. And to see this now turn to this is the opposite. It's not even that they're like you're agnostic to them. Like, I think a lot of people were rooting for the Tigers this season if you're not in the Central.
Maybe not A.J. Hinch if you still are.
Yeah, maybe.
He kind of seemed
him.
like a bystander in that whole Astros garbage can banging scandal, which he was the manager, but he just kind of looked toothless.
Yeah. Are Whitaker and Trammell still there?
Yeah.
Are they up the middle? That is a duo.
That's one of their problems. They're a little old. A little slow up the
Maggie
middle.
Ordonez is still DHing.
Yeah, oh, I love that guy.
Miguel Cabrera is having a wonderful season, I've heard.
Manny's like, where's Miguel Cabrera? We're like, never seeing that guy ever
He is
again.
probably somewhere in Caracas.
But that's also your old Tiger. Like, Pearl gave you guys from the early 80s. You went to 3 weeks ago.
That is why where's Dontrell Willis?
Yeah.
Prince Fielder.
He's comfortably in a TV studio.
Prince Fielder.
Where'd you go, Prince Fielder?
Hey, get this. What's the name is still playing? Scherzer and Verlander.
That's true.
Yeah.
How about that?
All-time Tigers.
They are. And they're not bad. I mean, Scherzer's going to be in the playoffs with the Blue Jays.
Verlander's had a great second half, right?
Yeah.
Jim Leland really has to get the guys together.
Well, get him out of the Marlboro factory and see if he can get over there.
Wait, he's not Sparky?
All right, folks, what do you have?
Headlines are sponsored by Prize Picks. Don't miss any of the action this football season with Prize Picks, where it's good to be right. Download Prize Picks and use code PRIMETIME.
What about Junior?
And get a $50 bonus credit instantly when you play $5. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details.
What about Shallow?
He doesn't deserve it, but congrats to Pearl and Schwarbs and their Phillies.
Wind up in the 1-0. And it's swung on, rocketed to right, high and deep, and on its way into the second deck. No doubter from Schwarber, his second of the night. Kyle Schwarber with home run number 56.
Scott Fransky, Phil's radio. Yes, 2 homers last night. 56 for the season now for Kyle Schwarber. He and his teammates went deep a team record 8 times, 3 of them from Edmundo Sosa in an 11-1 rout of the Marlins. Philly clinches a first-round bye with the win.
But I
Sammy Sosa?
still can't sell you a Kyle Schwarber MVP. I tried to convince Bogus for some unknown reason in the newsroom.
No, I'm with you,
Are you
except
with
for
that?
the fact that it's not going to happen.
Yeah, I don't understand why voters
Shohei.
don't want to just hand it to somebody new other than Shohei. He wins every year, and he's going to win every year.
Did you see him strike out the side the other day?
Who, Kyle Schwarber?
No, maybe then he could win the MVP.
But I think it's because of Schwarber's hitting 230 and Shohei's hitting 330. Like, is that really still a big deal?
I think it matters a little bit. It's just like I said yesterday off air. The conversation is like Shohei is the default winner, and he didn't do anything to make him not win it this year.
Well, it's a little like Judge. Do you have to how much better do you have to be for Cal Raleigh to come and take the crown from Judge?
Yeah,
he has more home runs, but that's the only statistical category he leads him in.
I would actually give it. I think there's a stronger argument for Raleigh than Schwarber. even.
Definitely, because Raleigh plays catcher every day.
Yeah, and
Judge
the team,
DH'd a third of the season.
And I just think the Phillies have been in the playoffs a lot. I think what's happening in Seattle. I think Raleigh definitely is. Those odds are a lot closer. He has a better chance. I would be disappointed if Judge won. He's amazing. But just switch up the MVPs. Give us some new blood here.
Raleigh, by the way, 2 more homers last night, so he is on 60. The Mariners beat the Rockies 9-2 to clinch the AL West for the first time since 2001.
Wow.
The Dodgers, meanwhile, have almost clinched the NL West.
1-ball, 2-strike pitch to Tommy Edman. Here it is. He swings and lines it into center base hit. Freeman scores, and the Dodgers take a 5-4 lead. Tommy Edman, 2 outs, 2 strikes, comes up clutch and gets Freeman home.
Tim Neverett, Dodgers Radio, LA, a 5-4 win in 11 in Arizona, dropping their magic number for the division down to 1 because the Padres lost to the Brewers in the afternoon.
Call me Dodger EJ and Pirate EJ for the next day.
Yeah, and thankfully they both won last night, so the Mets losing at Wrigley do not lose any ground in the NL wildcard chase. Still a game up on those Reds and Diamondbacks. Thursday Night Football gives us the Seahawks and the Cardinals. Seattle getting back corner Devin Witherspoon and safety Julian Love for this one, but running back Zach Charbonnet is questionable with a toe injury. The College Football Playoff Executive Committee met again yesterday without making a decision on expanding the playoff for next season. December 1st remains the deadline to go to 16 teams or stay at 12. And while Manny keeps counting down to preseason basketball, preseason hockey is already here.
Panthers could have up to 12 players, roughly 12.
Well, we got a goal and a fight at the same time. A shot went in from the point. Harper and Smith have dropped the gloves simultaneously.
Yeah, he's not kidding. This shot from the blue line basically went between these two guys as they were squaring up to fight. And the celebration, there's 4 guys celebrating the goal while the 5th guy's getting punched in the face off to their right.
Where was this?
This was the Panthers and Hurricanes game last night.
I got to watch that.
Yay for hockey. Let's go.
Manny Buck's back, baby.
You're going to go watch the whole game? Get it.
Oh, no, I'm just going to watch this a little bit. I'm not going to. Panthers, Canes, I'm good, man. Thank you very much.
Preseason?
Appreciate you, Gary Bettman. I'm good. Appreciate your hard work.
Excuse me, I just have to get this goal around you guys fighting.
Yeah.
That's like even Slapshot couldn't have come up with something like that. Bogues, thank you so much. Coming up, lots more to do, including which 0-3 NFL team most desperately needs to get off the schneid, and Mike Tomlin with quite a comment on the Minnesota Vikings quarterback situation. Those two teams, Vikings Steelers, are going to square off in Dublin Sunday morning. It's MMP.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. 1 minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. $45 seconds remaining. $30 seconds remaining. $15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Welcome back. Maggie Gray, Andrew Perloff. Quickly, we get our first European game this weekend. It's going to be in Dublin, Pearl. It's the Minnesota Vikings and the Pittsburgh Steelers. And sometimes I don't understand Mike Tomlin. Well, because he speaks in code. He says, sometimes his delivery, not code, but like sometimes his delivery, it's just unique. But what I'm saying I don't understand him is that sometimes he'll give you absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing. You will not, you could say, Coach, what time is it? He will not tell you.
We do not care.
And then other times he'll be like kind of surprisingly candid.
You're damn right it does.
And yesterday seemed like one of the times when he was surprisingly candid. So here's Mike Tomlin saying that Carson Wentz, who's the backup quarterback for J.J. McCarthy and the Vikings, it's a good thing that he's now starting for Minnesota.
He's a Grizzly veteran. Oftentimes, particularly when you have a young, inexperienced quarterback, there's some big-time benefits of playing with a vet backup. The veteran guy oftentimes does the intangible components of the job very well. They communicate and articulate the schematics and the plan to others. They uplift guys and get people lined up. They oftentimes are able to carry more schematic responsibility and so forth at the line of scrimmage.
Okay, it's basically saying that the team is better with Carson Wentz is kind of what I'm getting there. Here's more from Tomlin. And just an example of last year they were playing the Colts, and he told the team, let's not hurt Anthony Richardson, the starting quarterback, because Jazzy Joe Flacco's behind him.
I don't necessarily view it as a negative thing for the Minnesota Vikings, at least in the short term, that Carson is playing for him. We were in a similar situation a year ago. We were playing in Indianapolis, man, and I commented to the guys that, keep Richardson upright. Don't put Flacco in the game. And, Flacco ended up in the game. And I think that's oftentimes some of the things that you can run into when you run into a veteran guy, at least from a short-term perspective. And
Joe Flacco?
Yeah, I mean, spot the lie.
Yeah, it's funny that the team was not able to execute that order of keeping Anthony Richardson upright. They knocked him out of the game. Joe Flacco came in. Indictment on Richardson there, big time. And this is what I'm saying. The coach was surprisingly candid yesterday, and I feel like with Tomlin, you're never, ever sure what you're going to get.
Well, the truth is, Andy Reid and Mike Tomlin, whatever quarterback is on the field is they're going to praise him. Of course, he's going to say this is the best situation because that's like a coach thing, right? Like, say someone's going to say playing Jake Browning, they're going to be like, well, Jake Browning, like he is so good. It's like Lou Holtz. Like you always say the opponent is awesome coming into the game. But that being said, we know that teams are playing the young guy even though he's not better. Like it's developmental. Like there's no way that J.J. McCarthy Well, I'm not going to say no way, but it doesn't seem like J.J. McCarthy is a win-now play. He's a long-term play for the Vikings, right?
Well, that's part of the, gamble I think that the Vikings were taking this year because they obviously invested this high pick in J.J. McCarthy, but Aaron Rodgers wanted to be on the team. He was kind of waiting around. It's funny that these two teams are playing each other because at one point it was like, well, who's going to get Rodgers? They could have kept Sam Darnold. I mean, they could have kept going with the more veteran guy, and they made a conscious decision to pivot.
Yeah, and it's not like they were using Carson Wentz as a backup option for Aaron Rodgers. They just brought him in at the end of the offseason, almost on a flyer. And then he looked pretty good last week. I mean, he looked like Carson Wentz. He was totally fine.
Well, the defense had 2 pick sixes, which really helped.
Yeah, but I mean, he was doing whatever he wanted. He was totally fine. And by the way, he's a very, very high-end backup, so they'll be fine. I totally think Tyrod Taylor, by the way, this is one, I think he gives the Jets a better chance of winning because he's seen everything. Like, he's been in the league for 10 years. I think that knowledge is such an important thing for a quarterback. But on the other hand, as Tomlin said, it's short-term. Like, eventually that'll all kind of fold. I don't think that the Vikings are winning a Super Bowl with Carson Wentz. But would that be amazing? After Carson Wentz is a second-year player got hurt and let Nick Foles win a Super Bowl in Philly, what if Carson Wentz replaced J.J. McCarthy and won a Super
Bowl?
I mean, that's a little hard to believe. But he was, by the way, 14 for 20, 173, 2 touchdowns, and no picks. Man, they would take that anytime from a backup. Incredible.
Yeah, 888-710-4ISN. Kind of an indictment on McCarthy, too. And again, this was certainly a risk for the Vikings. And I think through the first 3 quarters of that opening game against Chicago, you were wondering, like, wow, how are the veterans going to respond if J.J. McCarthy stinks? And he looked terrible for the first 3 quarters, and then he looked great in the fourth quarter. Next game, not so awesome, but he ends up getting hurt, and now here we are with Carson Wentz. It was a big, big risk, and I know everyone thinks Kevin O'Connell could just, roll out of bed and make anybody a great quarterback, but this is a team that won 14 games last year, is ready to win, and the Lions look good. We'll see what happens with the Packers this weekend against Dallas. It was a gigantic risk, and it doesn't look like Mike Tomlin is that broken up that J.J. McCarthy's out of the game.
Well, I mean, what are you going to do? You're never going to play McCarthy? Like, you have to play him at some point. You have to see what your investment is. Otherwise, you have no idea. You're just going to let him sit there like Jordan Love for 4 years? He's not sitting behind Aaron Rodgers. So I think they had to take this risk. Like, if you're a team builder and you got a guy in the first round, you have to find out before he reaches his second contract. So we all understood that. Now, I have a question for you. If Sam Darnold just kills it in Seattle, is that going to be the missed opportunity? Is Sam Darnold going to be a Saquon Barkley to the Giants? I mean, I don't think Sam Darnold, he looked amazing last week. That was against New Orleans. I don't think he's going to play like that every week. But I think it's going to be interesting. I don't think they're going to be looking at Rodgers. I think they're going to be looking at Darnold out in Seattle and wondering, man, should we have just kept this guy? He threw 35 touchdowns and won 14 games here last year.
Yeah, and Darnold is the kind of guy who you could pay him, $30 million or whatever, and he can be a starter or he could be a backup. Like, I don't think if J.J. McCarthy, if you did want to go to McCarthy, much like the Giants went away from Russell Wilson and went to Dart, a little different. Russell Wilson's a Hall of Fame player who won a Super Bowl. You could interchange those two guys, in my opinion.
Darnold and McCarthy?
Yeah, like
$30 million, probably not, though.
Well, I mean, you're not paying McCarthy anything.
But you're paying Russ Wilson like $1.50.
I don't know. It was like, what, $12 million, something like that?
Russ got $12 million?
Yeah, again.
Yes, he did.
For the quarterback position, we're talking
organizations,
about
Pearl.
Dak's getting 60, okay? So, like, would I pay half of that for Sam Darnold and at any time I can just pull the ripcord and go back to McCarthy? I think I would have done it. Now, I didn't love how Sam Darnold ended the season. But to be honest, the defense also has to look at themselves in the mirror because they were not good in those last 2 games.
Well, it was the O-line that imploded, right? That's what Kevin O'Connell said. Like, we're putting every resource we have into this O-line in the offseason. And that's been sort of hot and cold because they haven't been running the ball, at least in the first 2 games. They didn't run the ball like they expected to. And then we'll see. The Vikings are an interesting team. Even if they win, like we're not going to trust them in the postseason. That's what this J.J. McCarthy thing is about. Like, we need a quarterback who can finally win in the postseason. And I think they think, well, J.J. McCarthy did it in college. He can win at the highest level. So I understand the experiment. I know what you're saying. Like, it was a risk, but it's one they had to take. I would just laugh so hard if Carson Wentz was awesome there. It would crack me up.
I'm kind of surprised that Aaron Rodgers is like not a bigger deal this year. And he's been getting, the first week against the Jets, the 4 touchdowns. But now you look at it, no offense, EJ, because I know the Jets took the Bucs and gave them all they could handle. But that's looking a little bit less impressive. We'll see. We'll see what happens with the Jets.
Yeah, definitely.
But it's
Mike
like
T
not.
is the man.
It's not looking great, and he's like breaking all these records. It was past Brett Favre in terms of all-time touchdown list, and he's going to be breaking these records, and it just doesn't feel like it's landing. It just doesn't seem like anyone necessarily cares.
Is it far fatigue or is it record fatigue in the NFL? I think that's a big question. I mean, I think it's a little bit of both.
Rodgers fatigue?
I think there's some of that. Yeah, I think if the records were bigger, maybe we care more, but I think that there's a lot that goes in with the guy. So it's like, wake me up when he really does something cool.
Right.
If he wins a Super Bowl, wins a playoff game, or goes into Baltimore and beats the Ravens, then I think you'll get that. I think for now, it's a little. We've had so much Rodgers.
Wake me up if he
years.
wins a Super Bowl?
Yeah,
I think we'll notice if Aaron Rodgers wins a Super Bowl.
No, but I mean, we had 5. Yeah. That's the only thing EJ's saying that could add to his legacy in a real way.
Oh,
I
see,
just think that, like, they had 5 turnovers against the Patriots, and they won that game by 1 score.
I disagree, by the way. I think Rodgers has like a Favre-like. If he gets to the playoffs, I think that'll help him. It'll be better than the Jets.
Just the playoffs.
Yeah, definitely. Legacy-wise, it's a big deal. Montana got aided in that situation.
888-710-4ISN. Coming up, Micah Parsons.
You're in a 5-minute break.
Oh, yo. L.O. Man, he's got a whip full bass swinging with flair. Behind the glass, he's waving it in the air. Now that's bright yellow, could do some harm. If he's not careful, it'll raise the alarm. EJ sitting close, looking a bit tense. He knows one wrong move could be at his expense. Man, he swings wild like he's aiming to score. EJ's ducking low, getting ready to hit the floor. Oh man, he put that bat away. Someone's bound to get hurt today. Peter Bellatti's missing again. So much for counting on our old friends. Man, he's in the zone like he's up in the plate. But one wrong swing and it could seal EJ's fate. The yellow bat's twirling, it's like a storm. EJ's leaning back trying to keep warm. Where's Peter Bellotti? Not a soul knows. He's skipping work as the legend goes, leaving Manny in his bat to take the stage. While Peter's off the grid, who knows what age. Oh man, he put that bat away. Someone's bound to get hurt today.
3 minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. 1 minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. Forty-five seconds remaining. Thirty seconds remaining. Fifteen seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Maggie and Perloff on the Infinity Sports Network.
Whose team are you on? Team Jerry? Team Micah? Welcome to the show. Maggie Gray, Andrew Perloff. Get the big showdown. Packers coming to Dallas this weekend, Pearl. Sunday night game. Just going to be coming off the Ravens-Chiefs, which is at like 4:25 Eastern time. And then we're going to go straight in to Dallas and the Packers. And, you know, I think Micah Parsons has actually come out of this as a sympathetic figure. And, you know, listen, it's like it was a weird negotiation. It lingered over the entire offseason. It was complete and utter distraction, I think, on every side. But I think people did not appreciate the strong arm tactic from Jerry Jones. You know, the idea that he would try to get this guy in a room, talk about contract without the agent there, and then hold that player to that conversation that happened in March when the player thought it was an ongoing negotiation. I think that's kind of dirty pool. Whether you thought that, Micah was going to be the linchpin of a Super Bowl team is not the point. He's a great player. You're seeing it with the Packers. When you have a great defense around him, when the defense is sort of built for his strengths and an offense that complements it, he can be a great closer for you. He can be a great player. So I think that more people are sympathetic to Micah than blaming him, looking at him as a villain, any of that stuff.
Well, nobody's on Team Jerry that's not related to Jerry. I mean, or a direct spawn of Jerry Jones.
Or getting a paycheck.
That's not really a fair fight. But there is something about Micah Parsons that right now, I agree, like he seems like a sympathetic figure. But remember, I think he fell in the draft because other teams are like, wow, this guy talks a lot.
Yeah.
Like a lot. And he is getting paid a lot of money. I think he is slightly vulnerable to criticism here if this doesn't work out in Green Bay. Is he really $7 million a year better than Myles Garrett? No. Is he $6 million a year better than TJ Watt? No.
But those guys weren't available. Like Micah,
but they all got paid in the same offseason.
No, I get it. Yeah. But like if, the thing about Myles Garrett is.
Same situation.
But apparently he didn't want to leave. Like he said he wanted to leave, but he actually didn't want to leave because Myles Garrett probably could have gone somewhere else and gotten the bigger contract. No?
Well.
Obviously the Browns would have had to agree to trade him. But.
I think it's a kind of a similar thing. Like none of these guys are on the market. I mean, they're all wanted extensions. So I just think that there's a vulnerability here with Micah Parsons. This better work out. There's a lot of pressure here. First of all, what was the problem? Even when he was in Dallas, like he's not a run stopper. He's not quite Myles Garrett. I mean, Myles Garrett is a dual threat. He can destroy the run and destroy the pass. So I don't know. I feel like right now everything feels good because the Packers got off to a pretty good start, 2-1. If this doesn't work out, I think the tide will turn against Micah. And then Dallas fans will be like, oh, we told you so. Now,
what about off this game?
Well,
do you think people will turn on Micah? Will there be like a referendum on him in this game?
Probably. The way we do things, yes, there will almost definitely be a referendum on him. But I think the Packers are in a Super Bowl or bust situation now, which is not usually we put that on different kind of teams. When's the last time it was Super Bowl or bust? I guess when Rodgers was there. So there's a lot of pressure here. Yeah, I think in the short term, Parsons is going to look great. His numbers are outstanding. Like his pressure rate is phenomenal. He's arguably playing his best football. He's making life easy for Rashawn Gary and everyone else on that line. But again, the pressure is ramped up so much on him. We'll see how this plays out. I'm not going to make a judgment after one game, especially because the Cowboys are totally injured for this game. Like you can't, if you're holding the Cowboys to the fire for this game, then you're doing the wrong thing. There's no way the Cowboys have the firepower realistically to match up here. Does anyone think so? Or
I mean, listen, when the quarterback is healthy, and I know they've lost some guys on the offensive line, but that's also been a strength of that team. It's hard for me to blame injuries.
Well, yeah, but CD though.
I know, but you did trade for George Pickens in the offseason. You have another guy. You have been able to run the ball maybe better than we thought. Again, you're shuffling some dudes on the offensive line. I get that.
Also, your defense is really kind of rounding into shape, but what are Trayvon Diggs and Deron Bland going to be full strength? They have not looked, Diggs has not looked like himself, and Bland is just coming back.
Yeah, that's true. 888-710-4ISN if you want to weigh in on this. Are you Team Micah, Team Jerry? Kind of who came out looking better?
Are you asking me?
From this really tumultuous offseason.
Yeah, I think you need a third option of neither. In Dallas, I think it's neither, believe it or not, because we found out a lot of people were over Micah Parsons.
Yeah.
And everybody's got to be over Jerry Jones.
We were very surprised when the trade went down, how many people called us from the Dallas area, and just Cowboy fans in general, doesn't have to be living in Texas, who were like, good riddance. Good riddance.
Fourth option, Luka Doncic.
They like him.
Yeah, that was universal.
Yeah, but that was
Organization 0, Luka Doncic 100. But they got Cooper Flag now because the NBA's rigged.
Well, it was such a massive surprise with Luka Doncic, too. Like, the Micah thing was a slow burn.
Yeah, that's true. Every day we were getting updates, whether we wanted to or not.
And the Doncic trade happened, snap of a finger overnight.
Oh, Saturday night.
On the weekend, yeah.
Yeah, crazy.
After a Knick game.
Let's hear from Micah Parsons, Manny. Cut 14, please.
Sure.
About whether or not he's going to get cheered or booed in his return to Dallas.
I think Dallas loves me. I think they're going to give me a good round of applause. And, there's no hard feelings there, at least for me. And I think it's going to be, like I said, it's going to be a great atmosphere. I think, this is some of the best football you're going to get in Dallas when it's Sunday night against, a rivalry opponent.
The warm round of applause. I love it. It's like we're at some kind of awards dinner. I'm just going to stand up and give him a nice round of applause. Wow, look at all the money you raised for charity. No, they're going to boo the crap out of him, right?
Wow, this is Dallas.
Well, what are you trying to say about the city of Dallas?
I think it's an unpredictable fan base. I don't know. We saw all the training camp stuff where the fans were sort of getting skeptical of the team. I think there's a lot of cynicism about the current Cowboys there. I'm not in the stadium. I'm not sure. But I don't know if the passion is going to be there to boo Parsons. Like, don't you think a lot of people are more mad at the Cowboys?
I thought so. And then we got all these calls saying Micah Parsons kick rocks. So, and I'm going to be honest, I've said that I think Micah Parsons is a sympathetic figure now. I think he came out looking better here. He's clearly on the better team. They're a 7-point favorite coming into Dallas on Sunday night. But can I just say something globally as a sports fan? If somebody ever, maybe not ever, but very few circumstances where if someone doesn't ask for a trade, then I'm not booing them coming back. You ask for a trade. Now, granted, there are some circumstances. Mm-hmm. You have owners that are just god-awful. You have situations where you haven't won in years and years and years. Someone asked for a trade from the New York Jets and the New York Giants. I get it. Someone asked for a trade from one of the Cleveland Browns. I understand
like when Kristaps Porzingis asked for a trade from the Knicks. Still mad about that.
But isn't this a much different situation? Like that ask for a trade was just
kind of empty calories. I get it.
I mean, this is the NFL. Everybody asks for a trade every offseason. It's a new thing. You scrub the Instagram, then you ask for a trade.
But usually you come back.
Yeah,
that's an empty threat, and you end up back in uniform, and all's forgiven. This is actually he got traded.
Well, I know. I think people are surprised that the Cowboys actually did it. That was on the Cowboys. I mean, they could have easily not traded him.
Totally. They could have
really
just made him play out the last year of the contract and then traded him.
But they got Kenny Clark, Superman.
Yeah. Well, they are better against the run by a little.
They are?
Yeah, by a few yards. I was looking it up the other day. I think they used to average giving up 160 on the ground. I think now it's 130.
They let up 450 yards passing to Russell Wilson.
But we're talking about the run here, Pearl.
Yeah, why would you run it if you can't run it? How do you run it if you're just throwing 4 80-yard touchdowns?
Trayvon Diggs is playing, Maggie. You got to throw that ball up in the air.
They gave him $100 million.
Yeah. Oh, that looks like money poorly spent.
Thank you, Jerry Jones.
Fully healthy Trayvon Diggs is no joke, though. He was great, but he is not fully healthy.
I'm kind of one of those people, maybe I'm old school in that way, that if you want out and then you get out, I'm booing you when you come back.
Definitely. I mean, you can't cheer Micah Parsons if you're a Cowboys fan. That's insane to me.
Maybe
you could be mad at Jerry Jones, but you got to boo him.
I think you and I might be a little old school on this one, EJ. Like maybe we're a little too black and white on it, but you ask out, you get out.
So you guys
I'm booing you on the way back.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like if I was there, I would be very unhappy with Jerry Jones if I was a Cowboys fan.
So every time they put like a picture of Jerry on the Jumbotron, you're booing that?
Oh,
or you just don't even go to the game, right? That's how you.
Can you imagine
show
if
your
Jerry tried the crap he tries in Philadelphia? He would be. It'd be 24 hours a day of people calling into the sports station and destroying Jerry Jones.
Yeah.
I mean, it kind of gets away with it a little bit in Dallas. I don't know. Is Dallas? I don't remember them as like a massive booing town.
Well,
it's
Nico,
kind of a wide
Nico Harrison.
Yeah, Nico may say something a little different.
But he also should not have been sitting courtside that day.
Well.
You want to take accountability, I guess?
Somebody pulled up on Nico a couple weeks ago. He was in a restaurant. I don't know if you guys saw that video. He was in a restaurant. Someone pulled up on him. They're like, hey, we still hate you, bro.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, but think about that fancy stadium with the big TV and all the food and like, I don't know. Strikes me as I'm challenging Dallas fans. I'd like to see you boo. I just do not see this happening.
I wonder who the last of their own that Dallas did boo. Someone coming back.
That's the weird thing about the Cowboys. They really don't jettison guys, which is Jerry's MO, right? Like, he keeps guys too long.
He's loyal.
And he pays guys at the last minute to stay. So I can't even remember the last guy where this would be even a
Zeke
conversation.
Elliott?
Zeke, they threw him out, right? He was terrible.
Yeah,
he got blown up in that last game against the 49ers playing center, and then that was his last snap as a Cowboy until they brought him back last year.
Did Emmett ever go back?
Emmett went back as a Cardinal, I think, but I don't think they booed him.
No,
I can't imagine they booed him.
That's different.
But did he play them? I
think he did. I don't know why I feel like I remember that.
It was in the documentary.
I mean, the guy won 3 Super Bowls with you. Anyway, Cowboy fans, what are you going to do? Boo Micah Parsons. He thinks he's getting a warm reception.
He never played them as a Cardinal, according to AI Overview.
No, they're never right.
But then I'm seeing a YouTube video that clearly sees Emmitt Smith in a Cardinals uniform
playing
against Dallas.
You cannot trust AI Overview.
Overview is garbage.
I think there's something more sinister going on. I think they're intentionally trying to make us dumb. Maybe it's just a glitch and that the AI is not good enough.
I'm coded correctly then.
What?
Coded correctly then. It's been 2 months since we've been talking about this. Nobody has hit up Google.
Are they trying to? The robots are just like, you rely on us, and we're going to make you dumber.
I mean, yesterday, putting together stuff for today's King of the Mountain, I'm trying to get information on the 83 Raiders. Mm-hmm. Just giving me wrong information. I'm trying to figure out how many Hall of Famers there are. There are 3 Hall of Famers on this team, including Art Shell. And I was like, that doesn't sound right.
That's
Art Shell was not.
team.
Yeah, Art Shell was not on the team. And then, there were way more Hall of Famers than 3. I learned very quickly.
Yeah, you could do it off the top of your head.
It was a bunch of guys.
Wait, the 83?
Yeah, 83. You had a bunch of teams. We were talking about it at 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
Get ready for King of the Mountain. But
Gene Upshaw, Art Shell, Marcus Allen.
No, Art Shell was on the 80 team.
Shell was on the 80
team.
team.
Was on the 80 team.
Those guys weren't on 83?
No.
Art Shell just missed it. His last year was 82.
What was Upshaw's last year?
Upshaw, I don't remember.
Yeah.
I don't think he was on that team.
I don't think he was on the team
But this was the Howie Long team. This was Marcus Allen.
Yeah, this was Ted Hendricks' last year. He just barely made it.
He was on both.
Yeah, Upshaw retired in 81.
Oh, my God. I didn't realize those guys were so old in 80.
Yeah. A lot of guys, that was a weird year. A lot of guys just missed the cut. But they gave me Art Shell, who wasn't on the team, and then there were 5 other Hall of Famers just didn't mention.
It's like we got to just go back to the library here. Primary source material. Because this AI Overview is it's just the worst.
I can't believe Google owns YouTube. I literally went to their other source and found Emmitt Smith running in Texas Stadium. What's going on?
It's the worst. Let's go to the phones. 888-710-4ISN. George is in L.A. George, are you more Team Parsons, more Team Jerry here?
Neither. I think they're both irrelevant right now, to be honest with you. Parsons, there's something Dallas knows about him that we don't know. That's probably why they got rid of him, to be honest with you, because Jerry likes to hang on to people. But Dallas is becoming irrelevant, to be honest with you. Their defensive backfield is absolutely terrible.
Yeah.
They're not going anywhere. But Green Bay, they're not going to make the Super Bowl either. It's probably going to be Philadelphia and Buffalo, to be honest with you. My Rams had a shot, and we blew it, of course. But one more quick shout out, if I could, real quick. Cody Campbell in Texas Tech is real.
We know. We see the commercials all the time, George.
Thank you very much.
Speaking of things we don't understand.
George, thank you very much for
I
that.
still haven't wrapped my head around what the heck he's talking about. That one rule is going to change everything?
Yeah, it's about broadcast rights and signing a petition to try to make it, I think, like, so that they can operate outside of antitrust law. You got to do a lot of research on this, but he's on my TV all the time.
Yeah. The big question there is who's going to be the quarterback, right? There's that kid Will Hammond. That was a game.
Yeah, because Baron Morton got hurt.
Yeah,
and he came in and played
That
really
sounds
great.
like research for you to do.
By the way, I love that he did say something a little scary that everyone thinks the Bills are going to the Super Bowl, Maggie. George is like, yeah, now it's even just like a throwaway line. Yeah, the Bills. Because the Ravens and Chiefs, who are the only other threats, look bad.
Yeah, I mean, look, I would keep this in mind. It took like a lot of different things to happen for the Bills to win that game week 1. And some of them had to do with the Bills coming back and Josh Allen being great. And some of them just had to do with the Ravens making really dumb decisions and falling flat because the Bills were on the way to getting creamed in that game. So if they had lost 41-24, people would not be looking at it the same way. They had to come back from a double-digit deficit with 5 minutes left to go.
Bills are favored. They're 4-1 to win the Super Bowl. Ravens are next at 6-1. Then the Eagles at 7.5 to 1. So that's pretty gaudy territory.
I know, it's nuts. This is just really about the Bills' easy schedule.
Well, and also too, which ensures home field in the playoffs, which ensures Lamar Jackson will have to go to cold weather. I think that is probably the key factor here, unless Mahomes can be heard from here. So that's why we started the show with the Ravens Chiefs. That's as a Bills fan, you should watch that game closely and hope everyone gets hurt.
Oh, gosh, I'm not rooting for that. But what about the Chargers? I'm not ready to dismiss them yet. Okay. I understand that they have to show us stuff in the playoffs. I get that, but they look great. The defense looks great.
Well, yeah, but they played Kansas City, Denver, and Vegas.
Yeah, everyone in their division who know them well. Division games are always tough.
But that defense looks great against 3 of the bottom 10 offenses in the league.
We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing about the Chargers. They have it. We'll see if they face real. Unfortunately, Kansas City's not a real offense right now, so a lot to be. I mean, come on, tell me you haven't felt this way about the Chargers before. Even under Brandon Staley, there were moments where they looked dominant. It's hard for me to wrap my head around that franchise.
Well, they're playing the New York Giants this weekend, so
yeah,
we'll definitely learn a lot this week.
That's a 4-0. Sorry, Manny. I mean, maybe not. They're asking a lot here from Jackson Dart. He was talking yesterday about how I got to come in, be the spark. I got to have the swagger. I'm like, this dude is going to throw 3 picks. He's putting way too much pressure on himself.
Yeah, I don't feel great after what I heard from the Giants press conferences yesterday.
Everyone
that's
sounded
nice.
so nervous.
Everybody sounded nervous and not on the same page. It's wonderful.
Dexter Lawrence literally said, it wasn't my decision.
Yeah, that really hurt. When one of your captains and best players on your defensive team is saying that made me crinkle.
Well,
made me cringe.
The Brian Daboll, sometimes when he gets going, you know how sometimes when you start talking, you get out of breath? Then it makes it sound like you're lying or like you're covering up for something.
Happens to me when I walk, too.
And Dart just sounded very nervous, like he was overcompensating. He's a young guy, it's a big stage.
By the way, the Chargers, oh my God, I'm looking at the schedule. Their next set of road games are the New York Giants, the Miami Dolphins, the Tennessee Titans, the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Is that Miami game in Madrid? Or am I wrong about that?
It might be.
It's a 1 p.m.
Oh, never mind. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, that is, whoa. The Chargers could go 16-0 or 17-0 and still charge it up in the playoffs.
We'll see. Brad's in Oregon. What's up, Brad?
Hey, good morning, guys. Thanks for taking my call. Talking a lot about Micah and then what's he going to do with Dallas and the return and everything. I got to believe that Clark is just itching to have a chip on his shoulder, wanting to get a couple hits on Jordan Love if he possibly can. This has got to be weird for Micah. He's coming in on a team bus now instead of his own car to the stadium. He's going to be in a different locker room than what it is. This has really got to be weird for him. And my final question for you guys is, what's the over and under on every time Micah makes some kind of a play or something that they're going to go and show Jerry Jones?
Oh.
What, we want to set the line at $1 million?
How many
still
plays
take the over?
Yeah, Brad, how many plays is he going to make? Because that's the answer.
That's true.
Brad, you got to have the Micah cam and the Jerry cam. Thank you for the call and the funny observation. Yeah, they're going to be, maybe they do a side-by-side cam, a split screen, where Micah's on the field and Jerry's in the suite. I could see that. And Chris Collinsworth, here's a guy.
Does Jerry, this is a rhetorical question.
Here's a guy.
Is Jerry savvy enough to stay away from the camera knowing that it'd be embarrassing?
Savvy? He's loving it.
That's the funniest joke you've ever told, Perloff.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's not going to love it.
Humping the glass. I mean, he
Micah
wants
Parsons-
attention.
If you're saying if Micah Parsons gets 4 sacks on Dak Prescott, he's going to love that. He's going to look like he just ate something bad in this. He's going to have this sour look on his face.
Like, oh, bad sushi today.
God, it'd be glorious.
Gotta happen. It's gonna happen, right?
No, Brad's right. I mean, let's say that Micah Parsons gets 1 sack, 5 tackles, 3 pressures. That's 9 Jerry cutaways. I'm going to put it at 9.
Wait, what was the terrible bet that I lost week 1?
I was just about to say, do not bet the over-under how many times Micah Parsons is going to be mentioned in this game.
Yeah. It was Melissa Stark that killed me the last time.
You lost that in the first quarter.
I lost it on her update. It was Packers-Lions opener.
Yeah.
Said, how many times are they going to mention Micah Parsons?
It was Eagles. It wasn't
sorry,
even the Packers. It was the Eagles-Cowboys.
Yes, what am I saying? I'm stupid. It was Eagles-Cowboys. That was the opener, obviously, dumb eggs. And we put it at 7.5.
Yeah, I think it was 7.5.
Something way too low.
She put me over the top. Melissa Stark hit 8 by the time the kickoff happened.
Thank you for breakfast, Miss Stark.
It was up to 60 by the end of the game. They had an hour and a half delay, too.
Yes, remember?
To talk about nothing.
They kept going to different crews.
We talk about Micah Parsons.
You should have really laid out a little bit there, waited a little bit longer to put the money in on your bet slip.
I can't buy a bet right now, but that leads us right into our absolute favorite, Pearl. Prize Picks. This is the only place where I actually do have a little success. So I love Prize Picks because it's the best place to get action on these games. We love the app because if you are into sports like a crazy person like we are, or even if you're a casual, you know a lot's going on right now. So you can be betting on tonight's Thursday Night Football game.
Mm-hmm.
You can be betting against the Tigers in their epic collapse, Pearl. All you have to do is just pick 2 or more players across any sport, pick more or less on their projections, and if you're right, you can win big. Did you know that East Carolina is playing tonight against Army? And if you want Caton Hauser, well, I would go more than 277.5 passing yards against Army, and then maybe I'm putting that together with a little Kyler Murray.
So we've been using the app to quiz Manny on his soccer knowledge. I think you know the player that I won with last night. His name is it Lionel? Is it Lionel? I'm not quite sure. Messi, over 4.5 shots, 5 shots and a 4-0 loss. I don't care that Miami lost because I won.
4-0 win. Miami won.
Oh.
New York City lost.
Class.
Yeah.
Win-win all around.
Oh, they have it. Oh, anyway. There we go. 5 shots for Messi. Did you count them?
Yeah. Oh, I was watching.
Okay. All transactions in the app are fast, safe, and secure. Don't miss any of the action this season with Prize Picks, where it's good to be right. Download the Prize Picks app today and use code M&P to get a $50 bonus credit instantly in lineups when you play $5. That's code M&P on Prize Picks to get a $50 bonus credit instantly in lineups when you play $5. Win or lose, you get $50 bonus credit in lineups just for playing. Guaranteed. Prize Picks, it's good to be right. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details. It's a guy named Hitchum right now. Do you know this guy?
You're in a 4-minute break. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining.
This is Maggie Gray with an Odyssey Sports Minute. This is Maggie Gray with a Sports Minute. Aaron Judge just joined Babe Ruth in the clean 50 homer club. His fourth season. 50. I'm doing the only other guys, McGuire, Sosa, that one, yeah. Aaron Judge just joined Babe Ruth in the clean 50 homer club. His fourth season hitting that mark. The only other guys to do it, McGuire and Sosa, with asterisks. Judge is once again the MVP favorite, and his numbers since 2022 are insane. A better OPS than anyone by a mile. In a power-heavy year, Judge still stands alone. I'm Maggie Gray. The Dodgers threw $111 million at their bullpen this offseason, and it's backfired hard. Tanner Scott, Blake Trinan, and Kirby Yates were supposed to lock things down. Instead, they've blown every loss this month. Injuries haven't helped either, but with October around the corner, LA is leaning on rookies, rehabbing arms.
We all know is a no-show again. What a pro. Oh, man, he put that bat away. Someone's bound to get hurt today. Peter Bellatti's missing again. So much for counting on our old friends. Man, he's still swinging, causing a fuss. EJ's just hoping he doesn't get crushed. And Peter Bellotti, as we all know, is a no-show again. What a pro. Oh, yo. L-O. Man, he's got a wiffle bat swinging with flair. Behind the glass, he's waving it in the air. That bat's bright yellow, could do some harm. If he's not careful, it'll raise the alarm. EJ sitting close, looking a bit tense. He knows one wrong move could be at his expense. Man, he swings wild like he's aiming to score. EJ's ducking low, getting ready to hit the floor. Oh, man, he put that bat away. Someone's bound to get hurt today. Peter Bellatti's missing again. So much for counting on our old friends. Man, he's in the zone like he's up at the plate. But one wrong swing and it could seal EJ's fate. The yellow.
Well, Dropper Sam's got the flag in his hand, streaming Maggie and Perloff across this land. He's cracking a cold one before the sun, saying Columbus Day's the holiday when the party's just begun. So raise a glass to the Nina, the Pinta, the Santa Maria. Dropper Sam shouts out with a loud hallelujah. He's singing along with that.
15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Wake up, Maggie, I think I got something to say to you.
Welcome back. This portion of the show, sponsored by the all-new Hyundai Palisade Hybrid. Learn how it's so much more than just another SUV at HyundaiUSA.com. Maggie, you don't like that song by Rod Stewart, do you?
I don't.
And does it get played to you all the time?
And sung to me.
It's a great song, though.
I actually once saw Rod Stewart on the street in New York City on Fifth Avenue. He looked exactly like Rod Stewart would. He was wearing an ascot. He's walking down the street with a bunch of fashionable-looking people, and I was like, do I go up to him and say thanks for nothing? No, just keep walking.
Why would anyone not want a song named after them? I don't totally understand. What's the downside?
People sing it to you all the time.
And it's a great song. Who cares?
Do you know what it's about? It's like
yeah,
him
he's
having
a guy
an
who
affair
made a
with an
living.
older woman or something. It's weird.
I always just remember he made a living playing pool. I thought that was really cool.
I don't love it.
Wait. There's a bad messaging here in this song. That's why you don't love it?
No, it's just like. Also, here's the thing. It might be a good song on its face. I can't tell anymore. Thank you, Manny. Like, I can't tell anymore because people have been singing to me my entire life. And it's funny because I actually like some other Rod Stewart songs. Like,
Well, he's got something to say to you, so wake up, damn it.
it's not me, Manny.
Yeah, why don't you change your last name? I thought it was Gray, not May.
This is about an older woman.
Have any potential suitors like played this song for you, or stood outside your window with a boombox over their head?
That's how Andy got her. I'm telling you.
Yeah, no. I think I'm actually probably the bigger Rod Stewart fan than my husband.
Okay.
Not a huge Rod Stewart fan. It just, have you guys had this, or is there a song about your name? Just you, I don't think you can relate.
No,
I don't think are there any Andrew songs?
No.
There's an Angie. That's a cool song, but you guys aren't Angie.
No, it's yeah. There's also lots of other name songs that aren't Andrew.
Well, I think the other part too is there's other songs that I wish I could have that I think would be cool if this was your name. Like Althea by the Grateful Dead. That's a cool song. And if your name's Althea and people know that that's the song, then like maybe that's a cool inside joke thing. Or like an insidery thing. Everyone knows the song Maggie May.
How about Cecilia? Would you be down with
Cecilia's
that
a great
name?
song.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Again, Angie, I'd love to be...
Angie? You know what that's about?
Well, actually, I don't know what that's about the way you said it. Maybe that's not so great.
Isn't Angie about the one of those affairs with the Clapton and the Rolling Stones and all that
Maybe that's
stuff?
actually a bad one, but it's a cool
Yeah.
song.
How about Eleanor Rigby?
That song's sad to me. What's the other one?
Oh my God! You see the album cover for Angie? It is graphic.
Sorry. It's a cool song, but you're right. I never really thought deeper about the message. What's the Amy Winehouse song that she sings about?
Oh, sorry.
Valerie. That's a cool song, Valerie.
I had the wrong affair. It was something about Bowie's wife had an affair with Mick Jagger or something. I don't know.
Who
But
could
anyway,
tell back
Angie is
then?
definitely an out of marriage. What about the song by Eric Clapton from Goodfellas? It's his famous song.
Yeah.
Help us out here. Bum, bum, bum,
No, keep
anyway,
going.
that's about the woman he stole from George Harrison, right?
Yes. I forgot her name.
That's a great song. We should know this.
Layla?
Yeah,
Layla. Yeah, so.
Thanks, Google.
And if you watch the Billy
Finally got
Joel
it right.
documentary, which was absolutely amazing, it was this documentary, it was on HBO Max.
Yes.
He stole his best friend and bandmate's wife right from under her nose and wrote all these songs about her.
Not Christy Brinkley.
No, this is way before. He was married to a woman for 12 years. He formed a band with a guy, and 3 years in, completely stole his wife from him. And they stayed together as a band. Can you believe that?
Well, I mean, didn't that happen with Fleetwood Mac? Didn't Lindsey Buckingham and Stevie Nicks like break up and then they had all these things? And then I think it did break up the band.
What is wrong with you people? What's wrong with you musicians,
Oh, in the
man? Just be
70s? It
faithful.
was a different
Manny,
time.
Oh, is
you
that
had
right?
to be there.
I had to be there.
I mean, I wasn't there, but
listen, I don't know if
I've
I would
heard.
be too accepted in the 70s.
I feel like their modern musicians will have
Well, there was
affairs with
always-
each other's exes.
Wasn't there always rumors about, again, these are all rumors, talking about rumors about Courtney Love?
Billy Corgan?
I thought that was the rumor.
But they wrote songs together, right? Huh.
I'm sure there's got to be more modern stuff.
Well,
Definitely.
Yeah, I feel like in hip hop, there's definitely sort of crossover. No,
Without a doubt.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah.
Have you ever listened to Lil Kim's album? Shit. Half of New York.
I mean, Lil Kim. Let's try to think about an artist from this decade, maybe.
Easy.
Over the last 20 years, perhaps.
Lil Kim will come in and kick your butt. She's like 4 feet tall.
Yeah, I mean,
And they
still
call
would do it.
They still call it little.
Is Lil Kim not fresh anymore?
No, well, what was the story about Biggie sleeping with a member of the Knicks girlfriend, and it was Anthony Mason.
It's Anthony Mason, yeah.
Rest in peace, Mace.
R.I.P. Mace.
What's going on with Ciara's? Isn't that That came up recently, too.
Future?
Well, they got divorced, though.
Yeah, no, but there was another story about
By the way, Russell Wilson being an awesome stepdad to that kid is a really cool story.
I think that's the story.
He's changing the name.
That's what it is. He adopted him. So
Yeah.
his last name is now Wilson.
That happened recently, right? Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think Russ should get definitely some cool points for that.
You mean the
He's not
backup
the
quarterback?
stepfather. He's the father that stepped up.
Now he's the backup. Congrats.
Not in his house, Manny, but ouch.
But he's a starter.
house, he
dad,
is.
Yeah. Happy Father's Day.
This all started.
He deserves a day.
Oh man.
You still gave us not one good reason for not liking Maggie May other than people singing it to you.
And I think there's better songs out there for names that I may be a little jealous of.
Oh my God! I think you would be annoyed if they were singing all those other songs
Exactly.
to your face. That was the point. There was no consistency to your argument.
Who puts on that song? You guys really put on that song?
I
It's in your
actually
mixes?
played it for my kids the other day because my daughter is trying to learn 70 songs because they're easy to play on the guitar. But there's a great movie, Lords of Dogtown with Heath Ledger, where the penultimate scene he starts singing Maggie May. It's one of the great because Heath Ledger, he's the best.
Yeah. It's a
That scene
skateboarding movie, right?
Totally rocked.
No, you know what? It was Joe from Binghamton again. Tried to court Maggie outside of her house in Binghamton,
Yeah.
and she was having none of it.
No, it's always older people singing it to me. Anyway, let's go to Bogues.
Yeah, because the song is 50 years old.
Speaking of older people, let's go to Andrew.
Headlines are sponsored by Progressive Commercial Insurance, protecting your business vehicles 24/7. See if you can save at progressivecommercial.com.
I hate Manny.
You guys began the show with the 1-2 Ravens heading towards Sunday's game at Arrowhead. You can look at that slow start as just some early season issues or evidence that maybe they're not an elite team, especially on defense. Head coach John Harbaugh going with the former.
We're just locked in on trying to play the best football we can. You know, we're still in the process of developing ourselves as a football team. You know, we do a lot of good things, and we do a lot of not good things. That's the way it is for every team in the league right now. Nobody's playing perfect football.
I think it was Maggie who said Nnamdi Madubuike returning from his neck injury would be a huge help, but Harbaugh said yesterday they don't know still when that'll happen.
I am concerned about it, but I'm not really in a position to comment on it right now. I haven't been given the okay to comment on it at this point. So he's not going to play this week, I can tell you that. And we're going to have to see going forward when they know what they need to know.
Yeah, so that's
boy.
not good.
No, that's not the update that you wanted. I didn't think he was going to play this week, but this sounds like it's maybe a little more long term.
Yeah, this is especially to say that I'm not cleared to talk about it means that something real is going on there.
Or he's just trying to sidestep. But yes, I get that. This is not trending in a great direction.
Meanwhile, Commanders QB Jaden Daniels was back at practice yesterday, saying his sprained knee is feeling much better, but the decision to play Sunday belongs to team doctors. Now, I was going to be nice to Manny here, but then he called me old, so I don't want to, but I've got time to fill, so.
There you go. Here's the drive to right center field. He is going to do it. Giddy up, baby. Goodbye. Home run for the captain is second tonight. Number 51. That's 4 RBIs tonight. And the Yankees have an 8-1 lead.
If you're not watching the stream, Manny's getting himself a seizure right now in the control room.
It's your cardio for the day.
1 was the final in the Bronx last night. Aaron Judge, the 4th hitter ever now with 4 career 50-homer games. His Yankees are the JV version of the Guardians. They've won 7 of 8 to catch the Blue Jays atop the AL East. Toronto's dropped 7 of 8 after last night's 4-1 final with Boston. This is the first time since early July that the Yankees have had even a share of the division lead. Cal Raleigh on 60 homers after 2 in last night's AL West clincher, 9-2 over the Rockies. And Manny, here we go again.
Se viene otro para Lucho, dásela, quedó en offside. Valeo, entonces Valeo, resuelve derecha. ¡Gol!
Wow.
Del Inter Miami, hace todo bien este muchacho, ya sé que vos lo sabés, y vos también, me sorprende todos los días, ¿hasta cuándo, hermano? Tremendo lo de Leo, se la quería dar a Lucho como se la había dado a Tadeo antes, quedó en offside, no importa, dijo, resuelvo con la otra de derecha, cruzado. Gana el Inter, Este señor no es humano. Inter 4, New York City FC 0, Leo Messi.
That gentleman's name is Bruno Vane on Apple TV.
Impresionante, no?
As usual, I'll translate. What he said was, Messi's running. He passed some guys. He kicked the ball. It went in. He's great. Inter Miami leads NYFC 4-0.
That was the final score, 4-0.
Yeah.
I mean, did they win the World Cup last night? That call was befitting of a much bigger game.
Yeah, he did that for a tack-on goal. Come on.
Wow. Wow. Number one, that's Lionel Messi. That's the greatest of all time. Don't disrespect him. But also, how awesome is MLS that they had Lionel Messi on a baseball field scoring goals? This game was at Citi Field. I think that's just so unique. Lionel Messi.
Is that great?
He packed. Yeah, I think it's hysterical. This guy was packing stadiums of 80,000 in Europe, and now he's playing on a baseball field in front of 20,000 people.
God, I can see the warning track.
He's playing on a misfit field because this team doesn't have an actual stadium. How is that good for MLS?
You give that another 3 because it's entertaining, man. It's the same. I thought it was funny when the Raiders were playing on a baseball field as well.
I did like that.
It's unique. You can only get that in the States.
Yeah, it's unique, but doesn't mean it's good.
You liked when the Raiders had the third base right?
Kind of was fun.
That was the most criticized thing in football.
I thought it was funny, though.
I thought it was funny, man. The pitcher's mound was at the 50-yard line. How does that make sense?
But it was such a disaster, though. It was like the most ridiculed thing that ever happened.
And that's why that stadium is now dormant.
I love seeing LaDainian Tomlinson just running all over like baseball dirt.
It was great, but it was so silly. It's like,
great visual.
They think they're going to keep the team when like guys sliding into the 40-yard line with a stolen base.
You mean to tell me that Jets-Dolphins highlights from 2002 didn't get you all hyped up seeing that the Marlins were still playing?
Yes, Ricky Williams.
Running on dirt.
Yeah, running on dirt.
Wait, was Candlestick the same way?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, we should bring that back. Baseball stadiums, football stadiums.
I
all
feel like
meshed
someone
together.
would have been worried that somehow Messi was going to step on something wrong.
Yeah,
and,
shortstop.
Like blow out his knee.
Well, it happened all the time.
Yeah.
It's not MetLife.
Okay.
No,
that's where
you
the
might
World
be
Cup
safer
final
at Citi Field and Yankee Stadium than at MetLife.
See, the only thing about this is I wish they didn't cover the dirt. Like they patched over some grass to make it. The infield is there. They should have just left it there. That would have been more fun.
Well, that was a fun goal.
By the way,
call.
Soccer gal, Maggie.
Yeah, Maggie kicks.
It's called football.
Maggie goals.
They didn't win the World Cup, you asked, but they did clinch a playoff spot.
That was
with
a
this win
huge
last
call
night.
for that.
I don't think he mentioned none of that.
Meanwhile, we said 10,000 words.
I heard tremendous. I thought I heard tired.
No es humano is he's not human. So,
see.
We missed a couple of these songs that have women's names in them.
Oh, yeah?
Some
What do we
big
got?
ones. Well, we missed Sweet Caroline. I'm glad that's not mine.
Well, that's a song that annoys a lot of people.
It annoys me, so I'm glad that's not one. Rhiannon, that's a really good song.
Wait, Rhiannon's evil in that song.
But the song's good. Like I'm saying, I like the quality of it.
Somebody said Miss Jackson by
Outkast.
By Outkast, yeah.
Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. We know that was not actually about a woman.
What was it about, Manny?
I wasn't around in the 60s, all right, man?
Mandy, which is a fun song, but it is a little like Maggie May. And Barbara Ann.
Mandy's one who'd make a good wife, right?
Yeah.
All the hip hop ones are very dark. Thinking Kim by Eminem and Brenda's Got a Baby. Not fun.
Also seeing here Billie Jean.
By the way, I'm sorry. Like this is just a
And
personal
Lola,
problem. I think
but
Maggie
Lola's-
May is the best Rod Stewart song there is.
I like Young Turks.
Young Turk's a good one too, but I feel like Maggie May might be considered like the top of the mountain for Rod Stewart because he had a lot of like 80s ballads too.
But I wonder if it's just the most played. Right?
Yes, because
we're
it's the
saying Young
best.
Turks is a better song.
I'm not saying
But it's
Young
not.
Turks is a better. Yeah. No, I feel like Maggie May is an iconic Rod Stewart song.
Have I told
like
you
music.
lately that I love you? Does that
Yeah,
him?
it's a little soft for my like.
Oh, that's a song title.
And Forever Young.
Yeah.
Well, that's Dylan, but yeah.
Oh, that's true.
But that's the first thing I think of when I think of Rod Stewart.
Yeah. It's
Do you
good.
think I'm sexy? Guys, what are we talking about here? If you like my body, sometimes I can never remember if that's him or Tom
That's Rod
Tom
Stewart?
Jones.
That's Rod Stewart?
I thought that was Tom Jones.
Do you think
I
I'm
always thought it
sexy?
was Tom Jones, but it's Rod Stewart from what I'm seeing on the internet.
AI overview?
Oh, that's bull crap.
You guys have never heard. I'm sure even you don't know his first band Faces by any chance.
No.
So they have a great song. You guys know the song "Ooh La La." I wish I know what I know now.
Yes.
That's Rod Stewart's
Oh,
band too.
that's such a great song.
Yeah, but he didn't sing it. The other guy sang it.
That's a miss.
Yeah.
It is a great song.
That is like one of the most famous misses. Yeah.
That's why that band's done.
Find that song because I cannot sing, obviously.
It's from the movie Rushmore. I think they played in
What's
that
the
movie.
title of it?
It's called Ooh La La. I wish I knew what I know now when I was younger, which is very true.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's a great song.
Yeah, Rod Stewart's good. Maggie May is a good song. There's definitely something personal that we have to do a therapy session with her.
Maybe I'll bring it up. Poll question or just an outside, fill in the blank. The greatest song that has a woman's name in the title.
Yeah, I like this.
888-710-4ISN. Coming up, are
Rod
we
Stewart
watching?
any relation to Elijah Stewart?
Yep.
We are watching History and the Wrong Kind. Tell you about it next.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. 45 seconds remaining. Seconds remaining. Seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Welcome back. Got off into a tangent here about songs with women's names in them because Manny played Maggie May, which I don't like because people have been singing to me my whole life. I think there's so many better songs with women's names in them that I wish my name was that instead of Maggie. I like being a Maggie. We're a good breed, but I don't love that song. That's how we got to where we are today.
Would you rather be Lucy?
Well, that's not really about a woman named Lucy.
Oh, it's not?
My daughter's name is Lucy, in part because we loved that song.
Really?
Well, there was many inspirations. I wanted to be like Lucy from Charlie Brown, who always pulls the football away from Charlie. I'm like, I want you to basically assert power over every man around you. That was because Lucy in Charlie Brown is large and in charge. That's how I wanted my daughter to be, and she is kind of like.
So
that.
You weren't influenced by Lucy, Skies, or Diamonds?
No, I did. That song was sort of in the mix. Then there's a folk artist named Lucy Kaplansky, who I like her. That was part
what
of it.
about Lucille Ball? I love Lucy.
No.
Oh, wow.
Oh, she's so funny, though. What a pioneer.
Turned that down real quick.
Nah, that wasn't part of it. I mean, have you ever tried to watch an episode of Lucille Ball?
Mhm.
Is it really funny?
Well, it doesn't hold up well.
Hey-o.
It
It's
doesn't.
kind of like the Three Stooges. Like, I don't find that old.
Three
Well,
Stooges
the
are funny as hell.
slapstick, yeah, I
Really?
still find
Have you
it
watched
funny.
it lately?
Yeah, I've watched it with my kid too, but it's like it's the
Yeah.
slapstick comedy of it. The problem with the I Love Lucy, why it doesn't age well, is because the gender roles. Like it's all very stereotypical. She's dumb, he's smart, that kind of stuff.
I found it funny when I was doing my clips looking for the shows last year.
Oh yeah,
I still found a lot of that stuff very funny.
some of it's timeless.
I don't find any of that funny.
You don't like slapstick humor?
I don't like the Honeymooners. I definitely don't like the Three Stooges. I've never understood why people think that's funny.
You don't think
Someone
Lucy
getting hit with a ladder is not funny.
You
It's
think
like the
Lucy eating
oldest.
the chocolates?
It's the funniest. It's the oldest form of comedy.
Yeah, no, Lucille Ball, but not funny to me. I don't. Yeah, there are a lot of things that are funny to me.
Are you
That's
American?
Yeah, I mean, I think people
It
should watch that
transcends
shows
America.
again.
You don't even need the volume up.
Yeah, I feel like it's like I kind of like maybe I like smart humor.
Oh,
God. Look at you. Okay, Ivy League.
This is like the people who are above fart jokes. I dislike people who are above fart jokes. It's just funny. It's okay for it to be funny.
I mean,
Not
if-
everything has to be a New Yorker cartoon.
Guys, I grew up worshiping comedy movies. You guys you like Revenge of the Nerds too.
I do.
EJ is watching Batman movies. Manny's apparently never seen a movie in his entire life. Like you guys have no idea.
Except for the hilarious one, Saving Private Ryan. that knee slapper.
Yeah, like
Most
no
depressing
offense, but
movie
you
of all
guys
time.
aren't exactly comedy files.
Oh no, but I love sitcoms and I love animated shows too. So
I'm a big Adam Sandler guy. I take offense to that. Love Happy Gilmore and The Longest Yard. Yes, The Second Longest Yard.
What's your favorite sitcom, Manny?
Friends.
And proceed, Maggie.
that's supposed to prove a point.
I mean, no. I mean, I don't know. I just don't find Lucille Ball funny. And I'll go on record with that take.
Put it on the poll. Is I love Lucy
by the way,
funny?
You know what?
I hate
People,
Lucy.
people love the Honeymooners. You ever try and watch that?
That's
No.
a little.
I can't imagine that
I watched
holds
some
up at
clips from
all.
that.
Yeah, it's not funny.
Probably not. But, that's like also just taste changed a little. I do think there's something a bit timeless about I Love Lucy because the slapstick humor. Like, that could be good. That could be good now. Those guys from the Jackass show, that was funny.
That was funny.
Yeah. Other people's pain, hysterical.
Yeah,
Slapstick
Lucy
comedy. No.
squishing grapes with her feet, not funny. The
Making
Jackass crew, launching themselves out of like a human.
Out of a cannon.
It's a cannon, literally. Hilarious.
That's comedy.
Coming up at the top
Smart
of the
humor.
hour, we go back to our King of the Mountain project, which is trying to find the greatest NFL team of all time. I call it a project like it's like an assignment. This is fun. We now have the 1984 San Francisco 49ers, Pearl, up against the 1983 LA Raiders. Al Davis moved the team to LA then. Very, very cool. I was watching some documentaries about this team last night.
A lot of characters.
Oh, my gosh.
I think I'm curious. Now, I'm surprised. I kind of lump them in the 80 Raiders together because Al Davis and everything,
Yeah.
but it's described, so they're very different teams.
Very different teams. I mean, same coach, same quarterback, same owner. So I guess in that respect, they're the same.
The strike in 80, it was 82, right, affected a lot of these things. Like, that was a very different era from 80, believe it or not.
Quickly, Michelle is in Florida. Michelle, what's the best song that has a woman's name in it?
The best song ever is Jolene by Dolly Parton.
Cosign.
Yes.
I can't believe we missed it the first segment,
Yeah.
Michelle. It's such a good song, and it's a great karaoke song, too, and it's about a woman who's trying to make a move on Dolly Parton's husband.
Ooh,
And Dolly Parton went down to the bank where Jolene worked and kicked her butt.
And then she opened up an amusement park. What a life.
Dolly wasn't messing around.
Yeah, she's hardcore. I don't know why anybody would mess with her.
I mean, or her man.
Exactly.
Left a little bit to be desired when she did the halftime show at a Thanksgiving game.
Oh, she was great.
She's like 80, man.
Left a little bit to be desired.
This is like hating on Sister Jean. Dolly Parton has a 100% approval rate.
Yeah, I thought she did a nice job.
She was like in hot pants. Manny, you couldn't pull that outfit off.
At some point, you got to know when to let it go.
Oh, no. Boo that man. Coming up next, the King of the Mountain.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. 2 minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining.
Gloria, you're always on the run now, running after somebody. You gotta get him somehow. I think you gotta slow down before you start to blow it. I think you're headed for a breakdown, so be careful not to show it. You really don't remember, wasn't something that he said. All the voices in your head calling, Gloria, Gloria. Don't you think you're falling?
15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Maggie and Perloff on the Infinity Sports Network.
Micah Parsons become the big winner in this whole trade. Welcome to the show, Maggie Gray, Andrew Perloff. Packers going to the Dallas Cowboys Sunday night, Pearl. Micah Parsons himself believes he's going to get a round of applause.
Yeah.
He thinks he's going to get a warm reception in Dallas. So let's count out what really happened here. Micah Parsons got traded to a contender, a Super Bowl contender, made more money than anyone in his position ever. And he might not even be the best player at his position, but he's getting paid like it.
Right.
He's going to come back to a hero's welcome. This is 3-0 knockout punch on Jerry. Even if you didn't like Micah Parsons, even if you thought the Cowboys couldn't win with him, Pearl, this is all an avalanche of a win for him. I guess the only thing would be the weather in Dallas is much better than Green Bay. If that even matters, who cares?
Oh, you know what, though? You say that, but people want to play in Dallas. They want to wear the star in their helmet.
People want to play for the Packers. It's an iconic franchise. It's not like he got, traded to the Arizona Cardinals. No disrespect. Excited to watch that game tonight. But still.
I think if a neutral choice, if you ask most young players, where do you want to play? More would say the Cowboys and the Packers. In part because Green Bay's out in the middle of nowhere. But a lot of people still love that brand. And Parsons was one of them.
Okay, that's fine. He grew up a Cowboy fan. But we're far from that. Those glory days were a long, long time ago. And the Packers are just, right now, they're in a much better position to actually win. Yeah, you're in a tougher division, I guess, but you are in a much, much, much better situation. You have a younger quarterback with a higher ceiling than Dak Prescott. You have a defense that's now really allowing you to shine. And, Micah Parsons could be playing, on the biggest stage possible. And you don't have an owner, period, but you don't have an owner that you have to compete with for attention. So I think Michael wins is there's no stain on him at all. Again, more money, better team. He thinks he's getting cheered when he comes back to his own stopping ground.
You could cheer him as a kind of an inverse boo for Jerry Jones. That's the one thing that people might like Micah Parsons for, because they're so frustrated with the owner, who seems to be making mistake after mistake after mistake. So maybe instead of being able to boo Jerry Jones, you cheer Micah Parsons to get at the owner.
Well, again, that'd be another tick in the pro Micah column. right?
Yeah,
he looks like he got out from underneath, an owner that is so obsessed with himself that he puts himself before the team.
I could end up being dead wrong. I think that there are going to be some cheers in that crowd for Micah Parsons.
He thinks so. I think so too.
I'm with Micah. It's hard to take this franchise seriously because of all the moves. Waiting to the last minute to pay Dak Prescott, waiting to the last minute to pay CeeDee Lamb. Looked like they were going to wait to the last minute to pay Micah. Maybe Micah's overpaid and maybe this deal ended up working out okay. But still, structurally, the Cowboys are doing everything wrong. There's no way I'm booing Micah Parsons.
888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. So will Micah Parsons get booed or cheered in Dallas on Saturday? We put that poll question up at Maggie and Pearl on X, and right now, 52% of you think he's going to get booed. He doesn't think so. And this is a landslide for Parsons. Like, in what way is his life worse? It's only better.
One thing about Micah Parsons is he's not just a player. Like in the offseason, he's a voice. He's a media member. Like he has a podcast.
Sure.
He's actually, we joke about this, but he's officially the chief editor of Bleacher Report Gridiron.
I don't know, officially.
No, I think
that's BR president. That's president of BR Gridiron.
Right. He has a role. Like he's like officially like a sponsor. I don't know. He's a sponsor or something, but that's not real?
No, I'm sure.
It's definitely real.
It's real. It's a real title.
Is that where his podcast lives?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if he's actually sitting around for the quarterly meetings on what their digital marketing strategy is, but
he's a guy who's going to walk straight into the broadcast booth and whatever role he wants. He likes publicity. He's kind of the player version of Jerry Jones sometimes. He loves the mic.
And you can get that in Green Bay.
Not really.
Yes, you can.
I mean, yeah, if you're Aaron Rodgers after a while.
Aaron Rodgers, we couldn't go a day without hearing from Aaron Rodgers when he was in Green Bay.
But still, we're always going to pay more attention to the Cowboys. Always. Till the end of time.
Yeah, but it's not like, forgive me because I know the weather might get compared to it, but it's Green Bay. It's not Siberia. Green Bay does matter for football fans. And football is the biggest sport we have in this country. So you're going to get attention. I don't think his life is in any way appreciably worse. And the fact that the Dallas fans could cheer him just even puts the cherry on the top of this thing. It's like you like me more than you like the team.
I'm reading the press release. Like Warner Brothers went on and on about how important this Micah Parsons. Like he's building like a small media empire. I actually have a legit question. Does he become just a little bit less shiny if he's Green Bay? The other thing, there's a lot of other good players in Green Bay. I don't know. I'm curious if they win the Super Bowl, obviously that'd be good.
Yeah.
Does he disappear just a tiny bit?
I don't think so. That's me. 888-710-4ISN. I don't think his star dims at all. 888-710-4476. But you're welcome to weigh in.
Listen, First Take is not leading with Micah Parsons. They're leading with the Cowboys.
Yeah, but that's
a thing. I know it doesn't make any sense, but that's the reality.
But if you're stacking up who won this trade, who lost this trade, I'm not putting First Take in the pro Jerry category. That doesn't mean he won.
The weed.
No. But I'm just saying it's part of the mix here. Like you do possibly lose a little bit of exposure when you leave the Cowboys for anybody, for all other 31 teams.
I just think I'm looking now at the Packers' schedule and the amount of primetime games.
You don't want to make an enemy out of me.
Yeah, the amount of primetime games that they're going to have here. We're going to see them against the Steelers. We're going to see them against your Eagles. That's a Monday night game. We get them, the whole back end of the schedule is flex.
Yeah, meanwhile.
And we had them this weekend, Sunday.
45 million people are going to tune in for some crap fest on Thanksgiving for the Cowboys. Cowboys aren't going anywhere. That's my point. They're special.
I think Micah Parsons.
Maggie.
I don't think Micah Parsons in any way will miss the Cowboys.
Yeah, I don't know, but I think there's something about Micah Parsons I think that you're underestimating. Is he's more than a football player. I know that sounds stupid, but he's got a performer in him.
Yeah, does every football player have to collaborate with BR Gridiron leadership to develop the content strategy for the portfolio?
That sounded like word salad.
That's what's in the press release. That's his job.
And that's not even from BR. That's from Warner.
Yeah.
Also, he's always been this way. Like Micah at Penn State was a lot in a good way. Like he is just a very, very vocal person.
Meanwhile, a fun game on Saturday. Penn State, whiteout, Oregon coming to town. We'll get to that game a little bit later on. Which player or coach has the most to gain or lose in that Oregon-Penn State top 6 matchup, which we're excited to talk about. In the meantime, let's get to the King of the Mountain.
Who is the King of the Mountain? Maggie and Perloff search for the greatest NFL team of all time.
Man, we love doing this. We took 25 of the greatest teams, Pearl, in history. Not just since the year 2000, in history. And we have a randomizer that picks the matchups. So the 72 Dolphins were just happened to be the first team selected, went up against the 1998 Vikings. Miami Dolphins won. They became the King of the Mountain. The next week, 72 Dolphins faced off against the 1978 Pittsburgh Steelers. Beat the Steelers.
Unbelievable.
72 Dolphins, King of the Mountain for 2 weeks in a row. Ran into a buzzsaw, the 1984 San Francisco 49ers. And today, the 49ers are still the King of the Mountain.
Dan Marino's year turned into Joe Montana's day. And the San Francisco 49ers became the first team in NFL history to win 18 games in a single season. They were not only champions of the world, but masters of the game.
The writing, so good there. So, banger. The 1984 San Francisco 49ers today face off against the 1983 LA Raiders.
Crockett giving to Allen, sending him wide left. He has to reverse his field, but he gets away for a moment. Comes back up to the 30, 25, 40. Breaks past 2 men at the 50, down to the 40, picking up a blocker. Oh!
I think today that this organization, this team, this coaching staff dominated so decisively that 2 things must be said. Not only, in my opinion, are you the greatest rated team of all time, I think you rank with the great teams of all time that have ever played any professional sport. Just win, baby.
The Raiders. All right, Pearl. The 84 49ers against the 83 LA Raiders. Now, that team beat Washington in the Super Bowl. Washington was the reigning Super Bowl champs at the time. Went 12-4 in the regular season. Same coach, same quarterback, same owner as the 1980 season, which was obviously Al Davis, who you heard there. Tom Flores as the coach and Jim Plunkett as the quarterback. But a lot of newcomers on the 83 team that were not on that 80 team, like Hall of Famers Howie Long, Mike Haynes, who obviously came to that team that season, Todd Christensen, who's not a Hall of Famer, but close, Marcus Allen. This was an incredibly charismatic team. Lyle Alzado was the guy, Alzado, really set the tone because he was a madman who later admitted that he was on steroids the entire time. Sparred once with Muhammad Ali, Lyle Alzado. Didn't get knocked down.
Yeah, they were a bunch of nut jobs. But this is like, you think of this team, what's the one play when Marcus Allen reverses course of the Super Bowl? It's one of the great, I would say, top 10 Super Bowl plays of all time. Incredible. Yeah, they were sick. And they had so many names on defense. Oh, my God.
Matt Millen, too.
Yeah, I didn't remember.
He was on both teams.
They had a guy named, who one of their best players was Van McElroy, who I got to spend a night with once. He's a former NFL agent. He said the characters, you don't even know what they were like off the field.
Yeah.
He just tells stories like this team was a bunch of wild men.
Yeah.
And like the best possible 80s way.
Yeah, Ted Hendricks also on that team. He had 25 blocked kicks.
I love it.
That's insane.
Was he playing this last weekend?
Yeah, exactly. Lester Hayes and Mike Haynes together, obviously fantastic on defense, Pearl. And Marcus Allen, you're right about that play. That's the ultimate no, 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 yes, yes, yes play. And it was a blowout in the Super Bowl, 38-9. They were all over Washington. And this is the thing about this Raiders team. As far as like rankings, they're not the best. Like the 72 Dolphins, the 78 Steelers, they were like number 1 in offense, number 1 in defense. This was not really that way. You know, they lost 4 games this season. They were their defense was 13th in points allowed, 4th in total yards allowed, 4th in rush yards. So good, but not the top. Their offense, 3rd in scoring, 2nd in passing TDs, 7th in total yards. But they were the most intimidating, I think. They were knocking quarterbacks out of the game. They knocked 8 quarterbacks out of the game in that season alone, one of them being John Elway, and I believe they also knocked out Steve DeBerg behind him.
Yeah,
game.
I mean, everything about this team is impressive. It feels like they just ran into the wrong team. I'm sorry, like the 84 Niners had just hit the NFL with something they had not seen. Which, and by the way, it wasn't even personnel-wise the greatest Niners team. As awesome as this Raiders team was, like, I have to ask, like, what happened to them after this season?
Well,
I mean, why they weren't really built to last, because they were good, but they feel like a bit of a flash in the pan. I know they won.
Well, they won at 80 though.
Yeah, but I just feel like they were just like they burned too bright in a way because of all these characters that you just mentioned.
So I did not know this until I was watching a documentary about this team last night. That Marcus Allen, Howie Long, and Lyle Alzado all took a cab to the Super Bowl. They didn't to the game. They didn't take the team bus. They never really got into why. These guys took a cab.
Great story.
And then they got the security wouldn't let them into the parking lot, and they had to take all their bags and walk the last quarter mile.
Only the Raiders.
Only the Raiders, and that would
like
happen, like an overzealous security guard not realizing that these guys actually play on the team.
I mean, who the hell is going to try to stop Lyle Alzado from getting into a stadium? Good luck to that security guy. Was it Hulk Hogan?
He just got out of the cab and just started walking.
I know, but who's tough enough to be like, sorry, Lyle Alzado, I'm not letting you get past me?
You want to know what they said? It was a lady.
Oh.
The security guard was a woman.
Wow.
It's funny because Marcus Allen was so famous. You know, because he was the Heisman Trophy winner. The team's back in L.A. You know, he was such a big star for USC. He had a terrible relationship with Al Davis. They did not get along.
Yeah, then they drafted Bo.
And they also said that there was one other thing about this team that's just kind of interesting and I think very different from the 84 Niners, which is they were playing in front of really empty stadiums in the Coliseum because according to Todd Christensen, the tight end, that Al Davis didn't really feel the need to market the team. And in LA, you're competing with the Lakers, you're competing with the Dodgers. Like, you really had to go out there and sell the team a little bit more. He would not do that. He thought, oh, everyone will just come to us. And so they played in front of a lot of empty seats, which is crazy considering they're one of the greatest teams of all time.
It's also crazy considering the cultural imprint this team left on LA. I mean, everything about the LA hats, NWA, Straight Outta Compton, like, this team definitely had an impact on the city. But you're right, like the Coliseum was not filled when they were playing there, which is quite interesting.
Well, I mean, LA and football have a mixed history for sure.
That's
definitely.
true.
I mean, look at the games now. It's still not 100% there.
It's funny because there was an idea that maybe they could have been America's team, but like the different type, you know, like a little more ragtag.
Well, I think,
will.
I mean, listen,
Rougher.
there's a generation. Also, the Raiders are popular off the John Madden teams, too. Like, they're an iconic brand and that sick logo and the two express what Just Win Baby and commitment to excellence. Like, it's all part of the stew, I think, they made. And honestly, that black and white, too. Like, we talked about yesterday, the great debate, like how a piece of clothing matters in these kind of debates. Like, the Raiders logo is still it's the GOAT. Is there any doubt about that? Like, the Niners, who cares about their colors? The Raiders, black and white is amazing. There were 8 Pro Bowlers on that team, by the way, and it's not the ones you would think either. Yeah, Henry Lawrence, Van McElroy, Ted Hendricks, Greg Pruitt. He was awesome. You guys probably don't remember. Lester Hayes, Rod Martin, and Howie Long. It's interesting. Howie Long
Howie Long, 23 years old. Yep.
He hit fast. That was a big breath of fresh air for that team who'd gotten old on the old version.
888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. So there you go. Who will be the king of the mountain? Is it the 84 49ers or the 83 LA Raiders? EJ, anything else that you want to get in that we missed there?
We're the 49ers. We will rock you till we win the fight.
So you got that cool song from the 49ers, but then you have the John Facenda doing all the Raiders narration.
Yeah, this one is close to my heart because it's why my mom is a football fan. This team is what made her a football fan. She loves the Raiders. She loves Marcus Allen. She loves Al Davis. I mean, she was a high school girl with an old white man from Brooklyn holding up a Super Bowl ring, and everybody was like, "Who is this man you got with a Super Bowl ring in your locker?" And she kept saying, "It's Al Davis. How do you not know who Al Davis is?" These are 15-year-old girls. They're like, "Who the hell is Al Davis?"
That was
Your mom
mom's
put
crush.
an Al Davis poster in the locker?
Yeah,
This
she had Al
is
Davis
Stewart.
and she had Marcus Allen.
Well, Marcus Allen, we could understand.
Yeah.
A handsome dude,
Yes,
Al
handsome
Davis.
man. But then
Very much so, yes.
It was a picture of Al Davis's face, and it's just his fists holding up the 83 ring. And
That's
that was,
weird.
That was in her locker.
That's a little weird.
He had those cool glasses, though, and now Nicolas Cage is going to be playing him in a movie. Right?
I can't wait to see that movie.
Oh, no, wait. Is Nick Cage
No,
John
Nick
Madden?
Cage John
I'm sorry. It's
Christian Bale.
Christian Bale.
Yeah, Bale's Al Davis.
Is
I can't-
Al
I can't
Davis.
wait.
Batman?
Pardon me.
Yes, he was Batman.
All right, guys. Polls up. Go vote if you're into that kind of thing at Maggie and Pearl on who should be the king of the mountain. While you're there, feel free, to weigh in on will Micah Parsons be booed or cheered in his return to Dallas on Sunday. You can also fill in the blank on the greatest song with a woman's name in the title. Seeing a lot of Layla. A little Sarah Smile, Pearl, your wife.
Oh, Hall Notes. Yeah, I love that one.
Little Valerie.
Wait, now which Valerie?
Angie, Mandy, Sherry.
Is Valerie Steve Winwood?
It's a Steve Winwood, and then I think Amy Winehouse covered it, no?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
Jolene, as we had a call earlier today. Fantastic one. Anything but Maggie May is what we're saying.
Wake up, Maggie. We think we got something to say to you.
Manny, you're going to have to just remove that song from the files.
That's too bad.
Sorry.
It ain't going to happen.
888-710-4ISN. Okay, coming up later in the show, we will hear from someone who had a front row seat for the 83 Raiders. Amy Trask, former CEO of the Raiders, is going to join us in the final hour of the show. Also, Ann Liguori to set up the Ryder Cup for us, so we're excited about that again in the next hour. You could have given me 1,000 guesses. I would not have guessed the person in sports who ended up on the cover of Us Weekly. Get to that next.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. 2 minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. $45 seconds remaining. $30 seconds remaining. $15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Hey Jude, don't make it bad. Take a sad song and make
Welcome
it
back.
better.
Maggie and Perloff Show. Somehow we got onto a debate about what's the best song with a woman's name in the title. But Hey Jude is actually, Manny, that's, I know you're young. That's about Jude Law.
Julian.
Okay. That's about Jude Law's choice in movies.
Okay.
So you missed that one.
Evidently.
So this started because Maggie is not a fan of Maggie May by Rod Stewart because creepy relatives used to sing it to you all the time.
Not relatives. Relatives I would have understood. That's cuter. This was just like friends' dads and stuff.
Okay. Anyway, so that got us on to...
Thank God you're out of Binghamton.
Yeah.
No, it would have happened anywhere, Bogus. You don't think that would have happened in Long Island? People can't help themselves.
On Long Island.
That's also that.
I think our leader in the clubhouse so far, people called it, we all love Jolene, the
We
Dolly
do.
Parton song. But I think people can try and top it.
Well, let's see. Wilson is in California. Wilson, what's the best song with a woman's name in it?
Good morning. From one of my favorite movies, Eddie Murphy was singing this song in Trading Places, a song called Roxanne by the Police.
I know, but it's a great song. But when he says turn on your red light,
Yeah, she's a prostitute.
yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Oh, she's not in her car?
No, absolutely right.
Yeah.
And it's a great song. By the way, speaking of the Beatles,
Yeah.
somebody didn't mention the name Michelle.
Yeah, Michelle, my
By
bell.
the Beatles.
I said it in the break, Wilson, but not on the air. I love that song. I have a good friend named Michelle. It's such a pretty song. Another one no one said yet is Peg by Steely Dan, but I don't know how many Steely Dan fans are around.
I don't know that song. I know Steely Dan. I don't.
You'll know it if you heard it.
think I know that
I heard
song.
it. I didn't know, like, is Peg in the main lyric?
Yeah.
She should probably go with Peggy.
Listen to the song, dude. Don't knock it till you try it.
That's what I've heard. That's what I've heard about Peggy.
Billy's in Toronto, wants to talk about the baseball playoffs and a huge MVP race between Aaron Judge and Cal Raleigh. What's up, Billy?
Hey guys, well, first of all, I'll throw my songs at you, and I'm really surprised Sarah Smile came up there. You're talking to a big Hall & Oates fan, and that wasn't one of their biggest hits, but that's obviously about his wife. And Hall & Oates, all their songs were basically about Daryl Hall anyway, singing about his wife. But my two songs I'll throw at you, and maybe they've been said as one I like is Gloria.
Gloria, that was great from the St. Louis Blues playoff run, right?
Yeah, and then the other one is it's a one-hit wonder group, Dexy's Midnight Runners, and that's Come On Eileen.
Oh boy.
That was in our one-hit wonder bracket.
Don't start singing that; it'll get stuck in everybody's.
Yeah, I absolutely love that song. Yeah, guys, listen. I know we're getting close to football season, but I won't take it seriously until the baseball season's over. I've been in Hong Kong and Japan for close to 6 months, so I haven't. I'm a diehard baseball fan, and figures our Blue Jays got to figure to get it going this year when I'm gone. I've seen a lot of Japanese baseball, and I've seen a lot of LA Dodger baseball down there. But this season is just wild. I think anybody can win it. This has got to be the year of the absolute collapses that I've never seen before. I mean, we all know about the Detroit Tigers, but how about the New York Mets? How about the even our Blue Jays here look like we had the Division One.
Billy, we lost you somehow, but
I didn't do that when the Mets came up.
Yeah, you say bad things about the Mets, and all of a sudden we cut the mic.
Yeah,
that was not me.
I think he has to stay in Hong Kong until Blue Jays are out. Maggie, can you pivot off the year of the slump buster into the year of the collapse?
Ooh. Oh man, that's a hard left. I think the slump buster's still alive, by the way, because Billy made a great point before he inadvertently got taken off just dropped the call, but the baseball playoffs are wide open. They always are. They always are. But this, like, say the Guardians somehow come out and win the World Series. Like, that would be an amazing slump buster.
Yeah.
I'm back on, baby.
Yeah. That would be a good one. I mean, it's kind of a crapshoot with the baseball playoffs. It's kind of speculative. Yeah, no, I feel bad. Like, he can't come back to Toronto until the season's over now because it's had some success.
Well, the one thing about the Blue Jays is so they've had this amazing season, right? But now they just got chased down by the Yankees, and they're tied now for first place in the AL East.
Mm-hmm. But the Blue Jays do hold the tiebreaker, so maybe it's like one game back for the Yankees still.
No, that's a great thing to know. But if you talk to any Blue Jays fan, they will tell you one of the biggest teams they have trouble with are the Red Sox, who they happen to have been playing. So it's really just like the schedule did them no favors here at the end.
Let's go, Red Sox. Thank you, Red Sox. Thank you, Boston. I hate you, but keep going. One more, and then the Yankees have to win.
Can I nominate one more song, by the way?
Yeah.
Go ahead, please.
And because I think we're getting into some of these weird backstories from the 70s and 80s songs. Mm-hmm. Do you guys know the song Rosanna by Toto?
Yeah.
So it's about Rosanna Arquette.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Or is this when you said Hey Jude was about Jude Law?
No, this is really about Rosanna Arquette, reportedly. Now, Rosanna Arquette, the song In Your Eyes by Peter Gabriel is also about her.
No way.
Yes.
She's a muse.
Yes. So she has two songs named after, although In Your Eyes is not.
In Your Eyes is a great song.
So I saw that, I think, on TikTok or something. So I just wanted to share that little piece of information.
Honestly, I'll remember that now for the rest of my life.
Yeah. Rosanna's a good song by Toto. Rosanna.
Yeah.
I mean, if we had the time to pull up these songs, it would probably be helpful. But
well, we had no idea we were going to be doing this today. Got totally into a left turn. One other one that we did not bring up, this is an oldie but a goodie, Sherry by the Four Seasons.
Oh, yeah.
Which I don't want to go that high.
Sherry.
Yeah.
Sherry, baby.
All right. Bill in the Bay Area, save us. Bill, Micah Parsons goes back to Dallas this weekend. You're thinking what?
Spectacular duet.
Okay. Real quick, I'll give you my song, and then I want to get the Dallas thing off my chest.
Okay.
But of course, Beth by Peter Chris Kiss, the best woman name song ever.
Yeah.
Anyway,
it's a good one.
As far as something I've been wanting to get off my chest with Maggie and Perloff, I want to first say EJ and Bogish ran a great show on Tuesday when you guys weren't there, and the reason being is we didn't have to hear about the Dallas Cowboys. I think you and Perloff are underlying Cowboy fans because every show is something about the Cowboys. I challenge you guys to go 1 week without mentioning those dreaded Cowboys. Nobody wants to hear about them. And with Perloff, with Michael Parsons, because Jerry Jones don't even know his name, so he doesn't care that he got rid of him. And Parsons, whatever. We don't care. Let them do their thing. I mean, it's just crazy. And to finish off my thing, the Raiders, the 83 Raiders, would have never come close to beating the 84 Niners. The Raiders in 83 couldn't even make it past the wild card. They lost to Seattle. It wouldn't have even been close. We'll leave it at that. I get that the only game they lost The Niners 84 team is the second best team in the history of the NFL, and I only put them behind Miami because in 72 they're undefeated. Otherwise, that's the best team ever in the NFL. I appreciate
Did I talk to Michael?
Micah. Let's not talk about the Cowboys every day. I beg you guys, and I challenge you guys.
Well, Bill,
I challenge you.
Bill,
take it from EJ and Bogus. They'll teach you.
Hey, that's hilarious.
I tuned in.
Bill,
I heard
thank
10 minutes on the Giants, by the way, at 9 o'clock Eastern on Tuesday.
Well,
what
how
was
about
that
this?
about?
Jackson Dart.
I
We
picked
were
the
right.
49ers to win the Super Bowl. It's not my fault they keep getting injured everywhere, or else we'd lead every day with the 49ers.
By the way, if he wants to have a week where we're not going to talk about the Cowboys, check Super Bowl week because they're definitely not going to be there.
Oh, zing.
They got the Cowboy Quickie.
That's the other thing that he mentioned, which is the King of the Mountain. Right now, it's the 84 49ers up against the 83 LA Raiders.
We will rock you till we win the fight.
This is going on all season long, the King of the Mountain. Right now, the 49ers are the King of the Mountain. Will the 83 Raiders, Pearl, take them down a peg?
I kind of doubt it.
83 Raiders led the league in sacks that year.
I don't know. The caller was pretty convincing to me. I was like considering weighing my vote. Now I'm all in on 84. I was actually, what's so funny? And this is, I was looking at the Raiders' schedule. I'm like, why did they play Seattle so many times through those years? Forgot that Seattle used to be in the AFC. It's always a tricky one when you look at old standings.
Bogish has the latest and greatest. What's up?
Well, speaking of Seattle, the last time we saw those Seahawks, they were racing to 21-0 and 35-3 leads on the Saints before winning by 31 Sunday afternoon. Sam Darnold expecting a little more resistance from the Cardinal defense on Thursday Night Football.
That defense to be able to, do what they do and be able to play various defenses, pressuring the quarterback the way that they do and mixing it up the way that they do. Again, it's impressive stuff.
The Seattle defense getting healthy for this game. Corner Devin Witherspoon is back after missing 2 with a knee sprain. Safety Julian Love will play as well after sitting out Sunday with a bad hamstring. Sunday's schedule includes the Patriots hosting the Panthers, kind of a special game for Drake May, who's from North Carolina and grew up a Panthers fan.
Yeah, it's a little different, but at the same time, it's still, just it's another week in the NFL, and none of the same players that I grew up, playing for besides the long snapper still there.
Yeah, the long snapper is still there. J.J. Jansen is in year 18.
Oh, my God.
As the Carolina long snapper.
Well, he grew up watching Jake Delhomme and was like, yeah, Panthers football, baby.
That team was good. He must really know the team, though, that he knew the long snapper was the guy who root for. So he must have been a real fan.
Musa Muhammad with the awesome touchdown celebration between the legs.
Guys, I'm trying to even figure out if he was old enough to know those Panthers.
Yeah, I think he's talking about Cam Newton.
Yeah, because the that's like 2005-06 Panthers when he was going to be like 3 years old.
Yeah, it was 2015 was Cam, right?
That's who he's talking about. He's got Steve Smith Jr. and Deshaun Foster.
Damn. I thought this was a Dan Morgan fan.
No.
Very disappointed. Great Hurricane.
Before we leave the Patriots and before you guys discuss a lawsuit over Bill Belichick's hiring in North Carolina, can I ask who I can sue for Bill and Jordan being on the cover of Us Weekly this week?
Well, yeah.
Okay, so 2 things. I didn't know Us Weekly was still a thing.
Fair enough.
Fair.
Because the internet kind of blew up Us Weekly, like Instagram.
I think they blew up magazines, period.
Period, you're right. But Us Weekly used to have a very big place in gossip society, and now it is no place.
In Perloff society. I lived for that magazine. Who wore it better? All in. I'm like, I'm buying this for my wife. My wife never got a hold of that. Us Weekly is the greatest magazine ever.
It was just a big deal. It was. You're right. And now somehow Belichick and Jordan Hudson ended up on the cover.
Well, so a little backstory. They obviously didn't pose for this. It's a photo that was taken Super Bowl week, and neither contributed to the story in any way.
Neither contributed to the story, but forgive me if I think this one may have been planted.
They also contributed by existing. That's how they contributed to the story.
Well, then why would she contribute?
Well, I'm saying I think without going on the record, I think that she could have been feeding stuff, or her people or something could have been feeding stuff to Us Weekly. I think they were trying to, did you see her on the sideline with him at the UCF game?
Yeah, sure. I feel like this was just like Us Weekly, we get to put this weird popular couple up there.
You think it was just slow news week?
Well,
no, they just like have a half naked woman on the cover of Us Weekly. Like, yeah, why not?
I'd buy that.
But I don't know. Are you allowed to just put if you're a quote unquote news magazine, you can put anyone you want without their permission on the cover, right?
Definitely.
Yes.
So I think they were trying to get some clicks / attention off this.
Yeah, but it's not. It's like, who's the real Jordan Hudson is the angle. Obviously, this is not about Belichick as much, and they go into the whole thing about Linda, but his old girlfriend. I don't know. I just think I don't put anything past Jordan Hudson. I think that she is in some ways probably brilliant marketer.
Yeah, maybe,
because we all know who she is, and I think she did a lot of this Belichick stuff, quite frankly, to win a Miss Maine competition to try to get herself to be Miss USA. I'm serious, and she couldn't win.
Yeah, I totally disagree. I think she
loves Belichick.
No,
49 years younger than her?
No, I
What is
think
that term she tried to trademark? I don't want to say
Gold digger.
She take my money.
No, but there is some validity to what Maggie is saying because she has. We know who she is now.
Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, I mean, also Bill Belichick's very famous. Like a lot of young people date very famous people.
Totally.
Question: When
I
she
would try,
leaves-
I would be all in on Dolly Parton. I just admitted earlier in the
You
show.
did admit that.
Yeah,
Good
but
for
that's
you.
not because she's famous. It's a smoke show.
when she's done with Belichick, does Jordan move on to another football player or coach?
Oh my gosh!
I think it would have to be coach. I'm not
Pete
sure.
Carroll single? Like who else
Pete Carroll's
is in
too
her
old.
age
You
range?
gotta
Lane, I think I'm thinking Lane Kiffin maybe.
How about Dabo?
Lane Kiffin beating everybody DMs.
Yeah,
Lane
Lane could
Kiffin
do
is
way better.
Lane Kiffin's a toddler.
You said Lane could do way better.
Oh my God, Lane! You've seen Lane's history? Oh my God!
How about John Gruden?
You kidding me?
I mean, the original Mrs. Kiffin's an all-timer.
I mean, Jordan Hudson's 24 years old. That'd be a pretty good
Dude,
pull
Lane
for
Kiffin-
Lane Kiffin. He's in his 50s.
She wouldn't even get a hello to Lane Kiffin.
John Gruden.
Oh, please.
That'd be great.
How do I make that
amazing.
happen?
That'd be awesome.
I mean,
That'd
sometimes
be-
she looks like a
that'd be
Hooters
entertaining.
waitress, so maybe it does fit.
Flip right double, X jet, 36 counter naked waggle at 7, X quarter on 1.
I don't think she's.
Break.
That's his pillow talk.
I don't think that Jordan Hudson is Gruden's type though. You know, I feel like he's more all about like the what's the Adam Sandler movie where he dates Hooters waitress? Like he has a a Hooters waitress. I don't think Jordan Hudson is that kind of.
Have you seen some of her outfits?
You don't think
Yeah,
Jordan
no, I
Hudson
just-
looks like a
waitress-
Hooters waitress?
A
I think
Hooters
she's
waitress
too,
looks
like-
like she's wearing a snowsuit compared to what Jordan Hudson's
Are
wearing.
you,
No,
are
I-
you saying that she's not Dolly Parton enough?
She
for-
puts on pretense, like she's a little
Oh.
pretentious. I feel like Gruden is like would not. She would have to change her game completely to go from Belichick to Gruden.
She could just what do they call reinvent yourself?
Yeah. Like I feel like the act she's using with Belichick would not work with Gruden. None of
She's even more like down home for Gruden?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
You think
like,
she's doing pseudo intellectual for Belichick?
like she's on CBS Sunday morning news with Belichick.
Yeah, making a
Throwing
fool out of
a
himself.
fit.
Yeah. Like you have to go to like I don't know what show you bring John Gruden to, but it ain't that show.
A Barstool stream show. That's where you bring John Gruden.
I think Jordan Hudson thinks she's some sort of well, I don't know, like smart person.
Jackass 3 starring John Gruden.
With a cameo by Jordan Hudson.
Yeah, I don't
the
know.
chat is
I
having
just
a
don't
good
like
time
the
with
match
this.
there. I don't like the match. I'm giving it a.
In loving memory of Bill Belichick.
The P. Maddie says Pete Carroll could at least keep up with Jordan Hudson.
Great shape, that guy.
Very energetic.
Drunkle Sam says first runner-up in the Miss Maine pageant was a bear. I don't know why.
And Jordan was third, right?
Oh God.
Did you finish third? She didn't finish runner-up?
She didn't
just
finish second.
kidding, Maine.
Damn, dude.
We love you, Maine.
Just like the Patriots, finishing in last place in the AFC East.
Hey-o.
New day.
Be careful, Jets.
And UNC finishing at the
third.
bottom of the ACC.
Is Marv Levy single?
He's 100.
Just saying.
They could double date with Sister Jean.
Okay.
Who's paired with who?
Okay, guys, enough.
Sports.
Coming up, well, there actually is a lawsuit about Bill Belichick's hiring,
God.
which we could get into if you want. And we have a little contender pretender NFL style MVP.
Belly check.
You're in a 5-minute break. 4 minutes, 30 seconds remaining.
Will you marry for the money?
Maggie's rolling down the highway, feeling kinda rough. Last night's dinner, fighting back, oh man, it's getting tough. She grips her wheel, but it's too late, oh no, here it comes. Her Yeti Angel's holding water, now it's holding chunks. Oh, Maggie's puking in her car. Yeti bottle's gone too far. Her toothbrush ain't gonna make it through. Perloff's calling hazmat, man, it's true. She stumbles into the studio, trying to play it cool. Perloff takes one whiff and screams, this ain't in my job rules. He's climbing on the desk, he's spraying Lysol in the air. Says I need a full decontamination, get me out of here. Oh, Maggie's puking in her car. Yeti bottles, a biohazard scar. Toothbrush soaked in bleach all night. Perloff's in a hazmat suit and fright. Eladio, he still ain't here. Probably at home, drinking a beer. WM's in a toxic state, but he's still on vacation, must be fake.
Daily was waiting by that glowing screen, hoping night shift crown would go to the king. Ship held it down night after night, with fire in his voice and truth in his mic. But the news came in like a cold hard slap. Pat Boyle's got it, felt like a trap. No shade on the kid, but let's be real, Shepherd earned a late night deal. Now Shepard ain't sleeping and Daly's in tears. The Shepherd maniac's been loyal for years. We stayed up late, we rode every wave, but they gave it to Pat and dug Ship's grave. So we howled at the moon and cursed at the sky, asking one question, why, oh why, oh why? Meanwhile, Bellotti still don't show up for work. No call, no text, just gone with a smirk. Yet Ship clocked in through the thick and the thin. Rain or shine, he'd always check in.
1 minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. "45 seconds remaining. "30 seconds remaining. "15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Jolene, 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 I'm
This portion of the show brought to you by Ethos Life, the easy way to get life insurance in 10 minutes, up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Just a few health questions. Get your free quote at checkethos.com. Not available in all states. All right, Maggie, explain why we are playing Jolene by Dolly Parton.
Well, because we found out that Dolly Parton is Perloff's secret crush. That was...
Wow, secret. I mean,
not a secret anymore.
Man. Dolly Parton is an all-time. Yeah.
We started talking about what is the best song that has a woman's name in the title. Got a lot of Jolene. It is a fantastic song. So you can either go to Maggie and Pearl on X and leave your thoughts there, or
Is
you can
Mark
hit
Levy
us
single?
up chat. YouTube.com/Infinity Sportsnet. We were talking last segment about Bill Belichick and his girlfriend being on the cover of Us Weekly. Sure. But in sort of real news, UNC is being sued by their former administrator, Chris Clemens, because they're accusing the public institution of illegally hiring Bill Belichick behind closed doors. Now, there's a few other things that they're accusing them of, too, including hiding discussions about potential conference realignment. So I don't know if North Carolina's going somewhere. Highlighting a, quote, pattern and practice by UNC to conceal matters of grave public concern behind closed doors. And you'll recall when Belichick did get hired, there was a story that came out. I forgot who had it. Maybe it was Pete Thamel. I forgot who said that there was a split, that Belichick kind of went around the board of governors, I believe, and just went straight to the athletic director. And that's how he got the job.
This is right on brand for University of North Carolina football. No program in the history of sports has had more violations and less success to show for it than Tar Heels football, which ironically, their basketball program has always been amazing. Their football program has never, ever, ever been able to get it right since LT left in 81. It is just a disaster upon disaster. And I think some of us, I think we saw it coming in some way, but this is, of course, it's a mess. Because North Carolina, why did they do this move now you look back on it? They should just be a great basketball school and leave it at that.
Yeah, well, we're too far in now, Pearl, because
Not
we got
really.
Jordan
I feel
Hudson on the sideline kissing Bill Belichick, or looked like they were kissing, like a kiss on the cheek maybe, before the game when they get blown out by UCF. So this is the accusation, a emergency meeting by the board Christmas Eve 2024, in which they signed off on the Belichick hiring in a closed session. The suit contends that there was no proper subject to discuss, no avenues to discuss the compensation package, and the entire hiring had already been made public by the time, like, the proper channels were not followed.
Yeah. I wonder if the job was posted in the right way. I don't know if you have to post a head coaching job, but you have to go through some official.
Legal, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but you said that, like, we're in too deep now. I get the sense, like, how long is this going to last? Like, is this going to be a one and a done?
I thought.
Yeah, I mean, are we looking at a possible one or two and done?
I think it's definitely on the table.
Yeah, I mean, unless things improve, because I think he's running the reality, even with a lot of transfers, it takes time to build a college football program, and I think he expected to come in there and outcoach everyone and have a bunch of W's.
Yep, and use it as a launch point to get back to the NFL, where he could chase down Don Shula's record for all-time wins. Now, he said that that's not important to him, but he's such a student of the game, so much into the history of the NFL. Even if Andy Reid eventually would break that record, you have to think that Belichick would want to.
I think he actually said, I don't care about it because Reid's going to do it past me anyway. But, yeah, I mean, maybe, look at it this way. Maybe Jordan Hudson is a welcome distraction. Maybe he's like, well, we stink on the field. Let's put Jordan out there and let people yell about her. That'd be chess compared to checkers.
Yeah, he's like, basically, come out here in a bathing suit, will you? And
yeah. I think that
be distracted.
Actually, watch by November, their outfits are going to get smaller and smaller as the team plays worse and worse.
She's gonna be out there in a fig leaf by the end. It's gonna be nothing. Anyway, that's what's going on with them. So they're on the cover of Us Weekly. The team is not good. The quarterback is hurt, and now the university is getting sued, partially because of Belichick's hiring.
Yeah, good times.
Just how we drew it up. I thought it was actually going to work. Meanwhile, Tom Brady, speaking of Belichick and Brady will always forever be linked, Brady had to defend himself yesterday in his newsletter, basically so over the top about how this is what he said about the idea that he got caught with he got filmed with wearing a headset in the Raiders coach's box when they were playing against the Chargers. He said a lot of things. basically because there's so much distrust
Mhm.
in the world
Yep.
right now that we're manifesting it all on Tom Brady.
Yeah, I have two movie analogies to sum up Tom Brady's newsletter. The first one is it was a total Jerry Maguire speech. Remember Jerry Maguire in the beginning of the movie is like, we can be better agents. It was like, we're all about ethics and principles. The other one is, any Boogie Nights fans in here? You guys know. When Dirk Diggler wins his first award, the star, he goes, we can make better movies, and he's all excited. It was a we can make better movies speech. We could do better for the sport of football. And then, of course, Dirk Diggler tires out. Like, Tom was so over the top. He's like, this is an ethical mission to be a Fox broadcaster and a partial owner of the Raiders. This is about principles. It's about growing the sport. When has Tom Brady and the Patriots had principles? What was principles? What are you talking about? You would have stepped on your... Well, I don't want to say that. You would have stepped on somebody to win any game. They were all about wins. They were not about principles. I mean, and I'm sorry if that sounds harsh, but they were a very bottom line oriented team, not about ethics and principles.
Sounds harsh. This was the entire boogeyman of the New England Patriots.
Yeah.
It was, did they have the locker room bugged? Did they steal your playbook? Did they film your sidelines? You know, right message, wrong messenger.
Yeah,
like Tom Brady asking if he would bend the rules. Like, who do you think was benefiting from Spygate?
Well, even remember the Ravens thing where they found that loophole about killing out the clock? Like, that was against the ethics of the sport, and they did it anyway. Like, they would cut any corner possible.
No, I mean, part of this was if there was a different quarterback sitting in that booth, I don't know if people would have even gotten that upset.
Yeah.
A different quarterback who was also an owner. It's because it's Brady. That's what makes this such a big deal.
You're in a 5-minute break.
Still ghosting.
Uncle Sam stumbled into work at night, smelling like a whiskey, cheap boxed wine. Tried to flirt with Lisa from accounting again, but HR warned him that's strike number 10. Oh Sam, you gotta read the room. You ain't Casanova, you're just full of booms. Where the hell is Peter Polite? Did he call in sick or win the damn lottery? Nobody's seen him since 2:15. Was it a long night or a rendezvous? Oh, Bellotti, did you ghost us for good? Or are you just stuck in your neighborhood? Sam sent an email, slurred every word. Called the boss, baby man, that's absurd. Tried to high-five, but he missed by a mile. Knocked over the coffee, still flashing a smile. Then he said, I may get too familiar too soon. I am told by HR and writing, yeah, that's getting old. Where the hell is Peter Polite? Was he trapped in traffic or hiding in the lobby? The phones keep ringing, but he won't pick up. Left Maggie and Perloff to claim this up. Lady said I may get too familiar too soon. I am told by HR and writing, yeah, that's getting old. Where the hell is Peter Polite? Was he trapped in traffic or hiding in the lobby? The phones keep ringing, but he
Trouble Sam took the mic in sequence and shame. Said I'll win this contest, you'll remember my name. But the teleprompter froze, he pulled out a cheat sheet. Lip sync and turn back time with 2 left feet. Oh, the crowd they booed, the DJ cried. Even Cher herself would have run to hide. If he could cheat in karaoke, he'd be the champ, but it's all hokey. With a glass of gin and a tambourine, he's the sloppiest diva you've ever seen. Me and the chaos goes on. Bilotti's working, but he's still not gone. The phones are ringing, the bosses scream, but Pete's still ghosting like it's part of the team. Sam's spilling beer on the judge's chair, screaming, "Do you believe?" with his hands in the air. The crown is crooked, the crowd's in despair. Bilotti no shows, but no one cares except the cheat in karaoke. He'd be the champ, but it's all hokey. With a glass of gin and a tambourine, he's the sloppiest diva you've ever seen. Meanwhile at the station, the karaoke, he'd be the champ, but it's all hokey. With a glass of gin and a tambourine.
Well, they call him Big Friendly, but that ain't his real name. Might be William, might be Henry, but he won't stake his claim. He's sitting by the lantern light, scribbling through the night, writing poems about old Kronos, how he steals the daylight. Oh, Big Friendly, who are you really, son? Is it James, is it Thomas, or are you on the run? You're dreaming about time while the rest punch the clock. And Bilotti didn't show again, that train won't leave the dock. He says Kronos is eternal, the ruler of the hour, but Friendly can't decide if his last name's green or flowers. His words are mighty heavy, but his boots are full of dust.
Maggie and Perloff on the Infinity Sports Network.
Whiteout Saturday, Penn State, Oregon traveling cross country to play in Happy Valley. Welcome to the show, Maggie Gray Andrew Perloff. Pearl, if you were asking me which one player or coach has the most to gain or lose in this game, to me, it's not actually James Franklin. That's the obvious one. We're still asking if the Penn State coach can, win the big one. To me, it's not him.
Because he got to the Final Four last year?
And I don't think anyone's expecting him to ever win the big one. And he still has a job, and he's still going to be employed by Penn State for as long as he wants to. I think at some point, we need, a new narrative, right? Or we need, the Tiger's going to go Tiger, I'm not expecting that James Franklin is going to win a big game. And if he does, well, maybe he should have because he's ranked higher than Oregon. So this is a thankless game to me if I'm James Franklin. To me, the two biggest people who have the biggest to gain or lose are Drew Aller and Dante Moore, the two quarterbacks from the team, because John Mateer is now out. The Oklahoma quarterback was the Heisman frontrunner, Pearl. He's going to be out now for several weeks with hand surgery. This game is going to be watched by a ton of people. I know Alabama, Georgia is going up against it at the same time, but I think a lot of people are going to be paying attention. And whoever has a better game, I think, becomes the Heisman frontrunner.
Well, yeah, except that the one thing you don't want to be is a Heisman frontrunner in September because that guy never wins.
But, this is so wide open right now.
Yeah.
Nobody has really made the case. So if you get yourself in that catbird seat, you might be able to ride this thing all the way through the season.
History says absolutely not. It just never happens. It's the Heisman number one is when you're leading the Heisman poll at the end of September, you're out. So that's the funny thing about this, too. We are very early in the season. I actually look at it more from an NFL standpoint. Drew Aller, we have not really seen play this year in any meaningful way. And actually Dante Moore, too, because he could be a big-time future NFL guy as well. But for Drew Aller, I think this is the guy. We have to understand, is he an elite quarterback or not? Because I think it's very polarizing. I don't think people know. If we put up a poll, is Drew Aller an elite quarterback? I think you'd get 50-50.
Well,
maybe a little less, a little no.
Unfortunately, Penn State hasn't played anybody yet, right?
You're
So
right.
this is going to be their first big test. They get this game at home, which at times has mattered, at times has not mattered in terms of these big games, but you do get the crowd behind you, and that's going to be a really electric scene. Do you think James Franklin is going to be feeling this one? It's like we've already done this so many times with him.
The thing is, it's a little tricky. So he's 0-5 in sort of top 10 games, but he really needs to beat a top 5 school. And I think Oregon sits at 6 right now. But it's such a lot. The 12-team playoff changes everything. We all know. Like, we know that the loser of this game, I don't even feel scared for 1 second that they're not going to be in the 12-team playoff. I think Penn State, their schedule, they're getting in, and I think Oregon's a good enough team that they're getting in. So that takes a little bit of the urgency out of this. Is that fair to say? Or
well, maybe for this game, I'll give you that. But what about?
Also, it's early, so the committee will look past it.
And you have time to make up on your schedule. What about for Alabama and Georgia, though? Because Alabama already has a loss on their resume of going to Florida State and losing.
Huge
Much
for
bigger.
Alabama.
Yeah.
I mean, right? Like, because Alabama obviously beat Georgia last year, and it didn't get them into the thing. But they would really fall off if they lost this game. Georgia, not so much.
No, I mean, listen, Georgia just beat Tennessee. That was a really big win for them, and how they did it was stunning to win in overtime like that. Probably not as much for Georgia because, again, they don't have a loss yet. But for Alabama to go with 2 losses, if they do lose this game,
Also,
that could be tough because there's probably another loss on their schedule.
Probably because we don't really think Alabama is that good. They can run the table.
Yeah, though Ty Simpson has a lot more fans after what he did against Wisconsin, but Wisconsin is basically one, missed fourth down away from firing their head coach.
Yeah, as far as challenges for Georgia go, they do have Ole Miss and they have Texas remaining on their schedule, but that's a program that will always get the benefit of the doubt. If they have 2 losses, they're immediately in. Alabama is in real trouble. Like, they're going to fall. They're ranked 17 now. They'll fall probably out of the top 25 if they lose this game. When's the last time Alabama hasn't been in the top 25?
See, I don't think they'll fall out of the top 25.
They're 17. I mean, depends how it looks. If they get blown out.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be a blowout. I don't think Georgia's that much better than Alabama that they would blow them out. But that's a really exciting matchup, and it's just a bummer that both games are going on at the same time. But we will make do. Okay. Let's turn our attention back to our King of the Mountain project, which we love so much. It's our quest to find the greatest NFL team of all time. And we've been putting all-time teams up against each other. So right now at the King of the Mountain is the 1984 San Francisco 49ers.
We will rock you till we win the fight.
They are facing off against this week's challenger, the 1983 LA Raiders. And to bring us more on that Raider team, we're so pleased to be joined by a woman who became the CEO of that franchise. She's a football analyst for CBS Sports. She's a best-selling author and just one of our absolute favorites. Amy Trask joins us now from California. Amy, thanks so much for doing this. How are you?
I am well, and I am thrilled to join you. I'm always thrilled to join you, but I am smiling ear to ear at the topic we're going to discuss today. And really, are you suggesting this is a contest between these two teams? You know where I'm going with this. And, you referenced my role in the Raiders, or what my role ultimately became. I was an intern. I was starting my internship with the Raiders the year of this Super Bowl.
I mean, you picked a winner, Amy. You could see talent from a mile away, and that's not surprising. So, just quickly, you told me of an unpaid intern for the Raiders that season. What's your favorite memory of the 1983 LA Raiders?
Well, everything. But here I am, an intern for the team. Back in those days, kids, interns weren't paid, even though they are now. But here we are. We're getting ready for the playoffs, and Game 1, the Steelers are coming to Los Angeles, the LA Memorial Coliseum. And, that week, a day or two before the game, one of our guys walks up to me and says, "Oh, here's your tickets for the game." My tickets for the game? I'm an intern and I'm getting tickets for the game for the playoffs? So there I am watching us beat the Steelers. The next week, the Seahawks are coming to town. And by the way, kids, back then, the Seahawks were in the AFC West. I'm sure a lot of people listening weren't even alive when they were in the AFC West. Again, day or so before the game, Aim, here's your tickets to the game. And I'm right down there in front in the staff section. It was wonderful. And then, of course, the team goes to Tampa to play Washington. And as an intern, I did not make that trip with the team, but I watched every second of that game. Our first touchdown was a blocked punt. And I remember our assistant coach, Terry Rubisky, drew up that play, and I remember speaking with him about it, drew up the play for Derek Jensen, blocked the punt, and that started the game out.
Amy, there's so many big names on this team. Who is the real leaders in the locker room?
That's a great question. And I will say that, as is the case in many, many, many great locker rooms, great businesses, great organizations, not just one leader. There were a lot of men who led that team. From a coaching standpoint, Tom Flores, of course, was the head coach, but there was the gentleman I mentioned, Terry Ribisky, a tremendous leader, Tom Walsh, Art Shell, Willie Brown. Old man Willie Brown was on the coaching staff, a tremendous leader. And in the locker room, Matt Millen, Ted Hendricks. And by the way, Ted Hendricks' nickname, you couldn't use that nowadays. Kick him in the head, Ted. That really was his nickname.
I thought he was the Mad Stork.
Howie Long was on the roster. Kenny King, Marcus Allen, Jim Plunkett. I always skew defense, so I went Matt Millen, Ted Hendricks, Howie Long, but of course Jim Plunkett, Marcus Allen, Kenny King. It was a locker room full of leaders, as quite often is the case in organizations where there's just tremendous leaders. They learn to lead together.
Amy Trask is joining us. We're talking about the 1983 LA Raiders today because we're doing a quest. We're on a quest to find the greatest NFL team of all time. It's called the King of the Mountain. And right now, the 84 Niners are facing off against the 83 LA Raiders. And Amy was just an intern getting her feet wet. She would eventually become the CEO of that franchise. It's one of the great success stories. And we love going down memory lane with you. Amy, what did that Raider team, and I know the team won in 80, we know they won in 74, but what did that 83 Raider team mean to the Raider fans both then and now, because they became so iconic?
Well, first of all, let me just note, what do I got to do to make sure we win this quest? I mean, and I'm not just talking about beating the 49ers in this challenge. What do I got to do? You need to let me know what I got to do to make sure we win this ultimately. If I have to come back on at 6 a.m., 5 a.m., any time of day, every day, I want us to win this quest. Your question is phenomenal, Maggie, as they always are. There was, and I'll talk French on your show, there was a je ne sais quoi to this team. It was so special in so many ways. And it just, everything clicked. Everything felt, it just felt special. And I don't know another way to explain that. You know, you've got a quarterback who won his second Super Bowl after being drafted by a team where he ultimately didn't make it, and then going to another team. And that's a great lesson about quarterbacks and other players. You may not always make it in your first spot, but you sure as heck can make it to the top in your next spot or down the road. Again, the coaching staff, I'll point to that. Tom Flores, Willie Brown, Art Shell, Tom Walsh, Terry Ribisky. That was a tremendous coaching staff. And it resonated in Los Angeles. Look, Los Angeles loves teams to win. And it just was special. And I got to say, don't you think some of it was that it was my first year of my internship?
Yeah, I definitely think you played a role, a significant role.
I called the defense. By the way, I think I was helping call the defensive plays.
Probably. Let me ask you about the 1984 49ers. What was the image around the league then of Bill Walsh and the 49ers? Because we remember them as sort of not unbeatable, but really like a innovative and groundbreaking team. That's a pretty good challenge for your 83 Raiders, Amy.
Well, you're right. And, you explained that perfectly. I can't add anything to that other than I will note that Al Davis and Bill Walsh had a very, very special relationship. And because of their special relationship, I had the tremendous fortune of spending time with Bill during my career. Bill would come in and he and Al would sit and talk X's and O's. And I would get to sit there and listen to the two of these men talk X's and O's. And it didn't matter how many times I interrupted with a question, Bill would stop talking and turn to me, as would Al, and they would explain anything I wanted them to explain. So you kind of made me mushy-gushy when you mentioned Bill and the 49ers, but they were an iconic team. You're absolutely right.
Amy Trask is joining us, CBS Sports football analyst, best-selling author, You Negotiate Like a Girl, a fantastic book, and also the former CEO of the Raiders podcast as well, Amy, which is fantastic. And we're talking about the 83 Raiders who are challenging the 84 49ers in our Maggie and Perloff King of the Mountain project. And, Amy, we always mention like so many characters on that 83 team, from the Lyle Alzados to the, to the Marcus Allens, Jim Plunkett's, the Ted Hendricks, who you mentioned, kick him in the head, Ted. Even the Todd Christensen, who was like the cerebral kind of tight end guy. With Al Davis, who is the ultimate character, how did he fit into that kind of team, and how was that such maybe a quintessential Al Davis team that this was not exactly a bunch of choir boys?
Well, you just gave me goosebumps as I listened to you talking, because you're absolutely right. It was quintessential Al Davis. Look, Al, as we know, over the course of his career, would sign players that other teams wouldn't want, that other teams labeled behavior problems. That was okay with Al. And by the way, that I think is why I had the career I did. When I was in kindergarten, I was labeled a behavior problem. That's one of the reasons I fell in love with the Raiders. It was okay to be a behavior problem. Show up, be a teammate, play. He wanted you to perform. He wanted to best position you to perform. He wanted you to be your best. He helped you to be your best. And if you had a personality that was large or quirky or different or weird, that was okay. You didn't have to fit in a certain mold. And I'll go back to something I said earlier about this team. You're right. There were such large personalities and different personalities. You noted there were cerebral players and quieter players and loud players and troublemaking players. And that was okay, because they were, in the very best sense of the word, teammates. And that's what Al encouraged.
Amy, have you seen any of not the trailers, but the photos coming out of the movie with Nick Cage and Christian Bale about the 70s Raiders, where Christian Bale is Al Davis? I'm curious if you've seen it. Do you think that he's going to nail that role as Al Davis?
I haven't seen the trailers, and the reason I note that is I've seen the still pictures.
Right, I think that's all there is. Yeah.
Well, and I was going to note, I haven't seen him moving around yet like Al, but in those still pictures, wow. Christian, he really looks good in that role. And look, I'm always dubious when anything comes out about the Raiders. I didn't watch the ESPN piece. When you live something, you don't always want to watch it through someone else's perspective. But when I saw that picture of Christian, I took a breath. He had such detail down. And of course, that's who he is as an actor. He is a phenomenal actor with tremendous, tremendous attention to detail. I think they cast Al perfectly.
Amy, last one for you, and thanks again for doing this and walking down memory lane on the 1983 Raiders, but on the current Raiders. So the big story, not exactly the football team, but the minority owner of the football team and Tom Brady. And it's still so weird considering the history that the Raiders and the Patriots have, that Tom Brady's now a minority owner. But anyway, I think people are pretty split. Either it's no big deal at all that Tom Brady is wearing a headset as a Fox broadcaster, but also sitting in the Raiders coaching booth 10 feet away from Chip Kelly, their offensive coordinator. Either it's no big deal or it is a big deal, and he's getting preferential treatment by being able to, go behind the scenes to a certain extent with other teams as a Fox broadcaster and then possibly bring any of that information back to the Raiders. I'm curious where you stand on this. Say you were not a part of the Raiders at all. Would you have a problem with Brady playing both roles?
I'm absolutely going to answer your question, but before I do, I just want to thank you profusely for having me on. I'm sorry I talked so much, but you got me so excited with this topic and this King of the Mountain challenge, and I just want to let you know, I am here for you because we're going to win this damn challenge, and I will come on whenever you want because damn it, we're going to win this challenge. I don't know if I'm supposed to say damn it on your show, but I just
all right.
Okay, as to your question, I look at this through a business perspective, Maggie. You noted that this has been kicked around and kicked around and kicked around, and there are people on both sides of the spectrum with, people who feel strongly one way or the other and people who may not care as much. I look at it through a business perspective. Mark Davis is what the league denominates the controlling owner of the team, because every team must designate a controlling owner. I won't go into the details about how much you have to own to be the controlling owner, but every team has to designate a controlling owner. And of course, in the Raiders instance, that is Mark Davis. But there is someone else behind the scenes who is very, very, very involved in orchestrating a tremendous, tremendous amount with respect to the team, and that is Jim Gray. But ultimately, Mark Davis, and with Jim Gray's input and orchestration, he's going to have to decide whether he wants to continue to support and facilitate Tom in this role. And if he does, fair enough. But he has to understand he's going to risk alienating some of the owners of other teams, angering some of them, alienating some of them. And as the controlling owner, when Mark Davis goes to those one per club meetings at which only the controlling owner attends, I imagine that will be raised by some of the other team owners, maybe not in the meeting itself, but in the hallways outside the meeting, in the lunchrooms, in the coffee area. There will be some owners who are angered. And Mark has to decide, does he want to alienate some fellow owners or to continue supporting his minority partner, Tom Brady? And that's a decision he has to make. But as I said, Jim will have input.
Wait, but does Jim, who's not related to Maggie, by the way, have any official role with the Raiders? I don't quite understand how his that it's that big a deal.
I should have explained that more clearly, but and thank you for noting that. I meant to note that about no relation to Maggie. No, Jim does not own any portion of the Raiders, but Jim was the gentleman who orchestrated Tom's purchase of the limited partnership interest in the Raiders. As many people know, Jim and Tom have a very, very close relationship. Jim has been associated with Mark Davis since before I left the team. There's a whole history involving that. So no, Jim does not own any portion of the Raiders, but he's tremendously involved behind the scenes, orchestrating quite a bit about the Raiders.
So Amy, this is a room, that obviously 99.999% of us would never be in, right? The controlling owners' rooms where all the NFL owners get together. What's the downside of Mark Davis alienating any of the other owners? Because they're in competition with each other, even though they're also business partners.
Absolutely, just a personal decision. And it's a great point, Maggie. They are business partners, but they compete on the field. And I guess that's the best way to explain it, and something I try to do often. Competitors on the field, colleagues and business partners off the field. And everybody has to make their own decision. Are they willing to alienate or anger those with whom they do business? They're business partners. And look, Al Davis did that. There were lawsuits, between and among other owners, the league as a whole, as an Al. And by the way, I would be remiss if I don't do what I always do and say, they started it, okay? They started it. They filed the lawsuit. So just so you know, I'm going to my 7-year-old Amy. They started it. But look, Al was not averse to angering some fellow owners. Al was not averse to alienating some fellow owners. Mark may not be averse to that either. That's his decision to make. I'm simply noting that it is a decision he'll have to make. He can continue to support Tom, fair enough. He can then risk angering or alienating some fellow owners, fair enough if he's willing to do that. And as I noted, Jim will have input behind the scenes as he does on many, many Raider topics.
Amy, you're the best for doing this. Thank you so much. And if you do want to vote on the Maggie and Perloff King of the Mountain project, 84 49ers up against the 83 Raiders, you can just go to @Maggie and Pearl on X and vote. That's how you do it. That's the best way.
Everybody vote, but only if you're voting for us. Only vote for us.
Of course, that'd be the Raiders. Amy Trask, the former CEO of the Raiders, her best-selling book, You Negotiate Like a Girl, CBS Sports, podcast, everything. Amy, you're the best. Thank you for doing it.
Thank you, guys.
Appreciate that. Okay, we got to take a quick break. Coming up next, we're going to talk golf with Ann Liguori. Why not? Ryder Cup kicks off tomorrow. We're excited for it, and a lot more football for you, too. MNP.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. 3 minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. .45 seconds remaining. .30 seconds remaining. .15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Welcome back, Maggie and Perloff. That was super fun having Amy Trask on, former Raiders executive, to argue in our King of the Mountain, best NFL team of all time, that the 83 Raiders should take out the 84 Niners. You can go to @Maggie and Pearl on X and vote. I love doing this, Maggie. It always throws Andrew Bogish off. Bogues, what do you got for headlines when I throw to him in my game?
I'm ready for it this time. It was supposed to be much easier than this. The Detroit Tigers should have strolled into the postseason 9.5 games clear of the Guardians just 2 weeks ago, but they are singing a different tune this morning.
It's late September and I really should be
back in first place. Instead, for the first time since April 22nd, the Tigers not atop the AL Central.
Here's the pitch. Swung on, smashed to right base hit. Here comes Schneemann to score. Here comes Helpin to score. Into second, Ramirez hit first slide. And stopping at third is Rocchio. Jose Ramirez delivers again.
That's Tom Hamilton on Guardians Radio. The Jose Ramirez 2-run double capping off a 5-1 win over Detroit. 8 straight losses now for them. The Guardians were 15 and a half games out of first place during the summer, so this is the largest deficit ever overcome to reach first place. The only good news for Detroit right now is that Houston lost its 5th in a row, 6-0 at the A's last night, so the Tigers keep their 1-game lead for the last wild card spot. The Seattle Mariners are AL West champs for the first time in 24 seasons, courtesy of a 9-2 win over the Rockies. That included 2 more homers from Cal Raleigh. He now has 60 for the season. The Phillies clinched the first-round bye with an 11-1 drubbing of the Marlins. Philly hitting a team record 8 homers, 3 from Edmundo Sosa, 2 from Kyle Schwarber. And Messi scored twice as Inter Miami beat NYCFC 4-0 to clinch a playoff spot. Guys, back to you.
Bogusch, thanks so much. It's crazy the baseball is coming down to these last 4 games. We'll have more on that tomorrow, but because it's that time of year, Pearl, everything is happening all at once, including the Ryder Cup, which is back on U.S. soil starting tomorrow out in Long Island at Bethpage. And Liguori is an award-winning broadcaster, absolutely the standard in our industry when it comes to broadcasting, interviews, and talking golf with Ann Liguori. And thanks so much for doing this. How are you?
I'm great. How are you? Pleasure to be back on.
Oh, love it. Thank you for doing it. So let's start here when we're talking about the Ryder Cup, USA versus Europe. Who has the stronger team?
Well, that's a very interesting question because the European team is returning 11 of the 12 guys that won 2 years ago at Marco Simone outside of Rome. Yet the American team, 8 of the top 12 in the rankings are Americans. But the American team has 4 rookies. And the European team, a lot of the guys came on strong toward the end of this season. Tommy Fleetwood winning his very first PGA Tour title recently. And, it's so close, Maggie. It's just going to be electric. And, the Europeans are very concerned. I think they're obsessing about what they perceive the crowd to be hostile at Bethpage. And I think, I want to underplay that a little bit, being a New Yorker now all these years. Sports fans here and golf fans here, they're very knowledgeable, they're respectful. But yeah, New Yorkers tend to let you know how they think. So you're going to hear some loud boos. And the European teams have been trying to prepare for what they think is going to be just a crazy, crazy atmosphere at Bethpage Black.
Yeah, Pearl, I don't know if you saw this story that the European team is using VR headsets. Is that what Rory McIlroy said to simulate basically Vinny from Staten Island shouting at them when they're trying to sink an 18-foot putt?
I know, exactly. I think it's funny, right? They're using Luke Donald, the European team captain, has left no stone unturned. He was successful in his captain debut 2 years ago. Very knowledgeable guy, very thoughtful guy, just an incredible communicator. And one of the things he's done is he's gotten these guys to wear these virtual reality headsets, which I think is hysterical, to try to mimic what the hostile crowds are going to be and all the distractions. And then he even had a comedian heckle the players a while ago so that they could get used to that kind of environment. But, look, all these Ryder Cups I've covered, and I've covered every Ryder Cup since Brookline, which was a long time ago. There's always a ruckus crowd. And as long as people aren't overserved, which happens a lot, not only in our country, but in Europe, I really think they're giving New Yorkers a bad rap. Look, we're loud, we're opinionated, we want the USA team to win. And yes, there's going to be some heckling out there, but not totally unlike other Ryder Cups, in my opinion.
How important is home course advantage historically, Ann, for a Ryder Cup?
Well, each of the last 5 Ryder Cups have been won by the home side. So it's very, very important. I mean, European team, you heard about the miracle at Medina back in 2012. I'll never forget that one. The European team was down 10-6. And then Europe on the Sunday, the singles Sunday, won 8 of the 12 singles matches, where the U.S. team needed only 4.5 points to win. So that was just an incredible disappointment for the United States. So that's the last time that the Europeans won on American soil. So Yeah, a lot has been made about winning here, and European team is driven by what Rory McIlroy describes as what would be the biggest accomplishment in golf if they could win here in New York at Bethpage, which is obviously a public golf course and a very difficult, very challenging golf course, challenging conditions. And so it would be a big, big deal if the European team could come here in New York and beat the Americans for sure.
Yeah, that'd be a blow for the Americans, that's for sure. We're talking with Ann Liguori. She's an award-winning broadcaster, interviewer, really the standard in our business, the gold standard. Her new book, though, is called Life on the Green, Lessons and Wisdom from Legends of Golf, and it's fantastic. We have a copy actually right here in our studio, Ann, that you sent to us, and we absolutely love it. Okay, the format for the Ryder Cup, Perloff has an Ivy League degree, and even he was like, this one's a little challenging for me. But I think what people really need to know is if this is going to come down to Sunday, because it always does, right? And that's where the singles matches happen. But, Ann, can you take us a little behind the scenes of how they determine who's going to be matched up against who in these singles matches? Because it's all head-to-head, and you win the hole, you get a point. You tie on the hole, you get half a point. Can you kind of go into that a little so we know what we're looking at?
Yeah, let me go back. So the U.S. need the team that gets to 14.5 points first wins. Okay, so there's the 28 total points that are available for in the weekend. Now, if the match ends in a tie, 14-14, Europe retains the cup because they won 2 years ago. And the first session starts tomorrow morning. It's going to be foursomes. That means alternate shot. Basically, one team member tees off on the odd numbered hole, and then the other team member tees off on the even numbered holes, and then they switch off. So that's a very difficult format. Europeans play that more than the Americans. So the Americans have overall struggled with the alternate shot. That's going to be the first format in the morning, both on Friday and Saturday, and then the 4-ball in the afternoon, where each player plays their own ball, and that's then the best score in each hole wins. So then on Sunday, it all comes down to 12 players, each play singles matches. It's all match play. And yeah, a lot of it, you can kind of see some of the guys practicing together. The big question mark is who's going to be paired with whom, and we'll know today at 4:00. They'll make that announcement for tomorrow morning's matchup. The first hole is just an incredible hole, and you should see the build out for this Ryder Cup. I mean, there's 5,000 seats overlooking the first tee and the 18th green. It's the biggest build out I've ever seen at any Ryder Cup. And so it's going to be insane when the American team both teams take that first tee box in the morning. But, the first hole is a drivable hole. It's a dogleg right. It's going to play probably around 350 yards, and you have to go over trees. So will the big hitters go for it? Alternate shot. It's going to be interesting because Bryson DeChambeau is the first guy on the tee, and he doesn't make the green and ends up in a bad place, then his teammate, whoever that might be, and some people are saying it's going to be Justin Thomas, who is playing in his 4th Ryder Cup, then Justin Thomas is going to have to play the ball where Bryson DeChambeau, landed. So it's a very interesting format. It's very difficult, but it's so important to get off to a good start. Teams who win the opening session have gone on to win 9 of 15 times. Wow. So that first session is so every session is so important, but particularly to get off to a great start.
And we've been having a debate over the entire year. Is Scottie Scheffler sort of the heir apparent? Obviously, he's not going to be Tiger Woods, but is he the guy right now? What kind of reception do you expect him to get this weekend in Long Island?
Oh, they love Scottie Scheffler. They absolutely love him. He's the #1 ranked player in the world. He is a great role model. He just handles everything so incredibly well. He won 2 majors this year, along with 4 other titles. So 6 wins this season. Now, historically, the top player in the world has not always been the best Ryder Cup player, right? So his Ryder Cup record, I'd have to go and look for it, but it's not what it should be. So Scottie Scheffler, for as dominant a player as he is when he plays on the PGA Tour, needs a really great Ryder Cup. And I think obviously he's due for a great Ryder Cup. And he's just so much fun to watch. But look, you have Rory McIlroy on the European side, who had an incredible season. He won the Masters after trying for 11 years, right? Which for him captured the career Grand Slam. And he's just had an incredible season. And the Europeans are so fired up. A lot of people say the Europeans are, just more of a cohesive group. They have better team chemistry. They love hanging out with each other. They've been in New York for over a week. They practiced twice last week at Bethpage Black. Then they took some time off and came to the Hamptons and played Friar's Head and Sabonik and Shinnecock. And they just love to hang together. The American team is getting closer lately, but they were always criticized for not really being a cohesive, unified group of guys. But that's changed. A lot of them live together now or live close to each other in Jupiter. A lot of them have children the same age and they hang out together. So that difference has changed a lot. But I just think it's going to be very tough for the American team to go out there. Even though we have all these high-ranked guys, 8 of the top, players in the world in the top 12, to go out and beat this very cohesive, unified European team, plus the conditions. If it rains, that favors the European team. They're used to playing in tougher conditions than the Americans. So it's going to be an interesting weekend for sure.
Man, and this is great. Thanks for setting that up for us. Absolutely love when we get to talk golf with you. And, of course, your book, Life on the Green, Lessons and Wisdom from Legends of Golf, is one of our favorites. Have fun. Enjoy the tournament. I would say watch out for the hecklers, but you're a New Yorker. You can handle yourself. You don't need a VR set to simulate that.
Well, we all have thick skin, obviously. That's what the Europeans need, and the Americans have it. So go USA. I have my USA shirt on.
Yeah, I know. If you're watching on our live stream, Ann is all decked out, red, white, and blue. It's fantastic. Thank you, Ann. Have fun.
Thanks so much.
Love talking with Ann Liguori. Ann Liguori, the first ever woman to host a call-in sports talk show, and did it on WFAN. She is just an absolute, the standard, and does a fantastic job.
So cool. I'm getting nothing done this weekend. I mean, this is a tell the family you'll see them on Monday morning weekend, right?
Yeah, we've got, obviously, NFL kicks off tonight. Yeah. You got Seahawks, you got Cardinals. You have college football, whiteout at Penn State. Yeah. At the same time, you've got Alabama, Georgia. Let's add the Ryder Cup on top of it. And by the way, we still have how many playoff spots to determine in Major League Baseball?
Only one weekend to do it.
Am I missing something?
Yeah, I mean, I think you could argue this is preseason hockey. You could argue this is the best sports weekend, like one of those, like a lot going on.
The equinox is coming soon. The sports equinox. It's almost that time.
All 4.
Oh God, what a life.
Manny, you said that like when someone sinks their teeth into like a bacon cheeseburger.
I mean, what else do you want in the United States of America? You got a bacon cheeseburger that you could just sink your teeth in, and you got all the sports action that you could sink your teeth in this weekend. America.
Prize Picks. Keep them in mind. Great weekend for Prize Picks. Use the code MNP. Okay. Lots more to do. Oh, we have not gotten to the story yet that we need to get to.
Mand P.
It's happening next.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. 3 minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. $45 seconds remaining. $30 seconds remaining. $15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Welcome back. Maggie Perloff Show. We got off on a tangent on the greatest songs of all time that have a woman's name in the title.
Yeah, did we get any kind of consensus here?
Well, we can't really do a poll because there's about 1,000 songs.
Yeah.
So we really just had to ask people to kind of drop their favorites.
Found out what we're doing in March.
Yeah. But there might be too much for a bracket because you can only do 68 in a bracket. Added 4 in there.
Well, we could do 68 of the greatest songs that have a woman's name in the title.
Or a name, period.
Let's see. What do we got here? Jolene was a popular one. Roxanne was popular. Brandy and Mandy.
By the way, I taught Maggie something she didn't know. Mandy is the same song as Brandy that Barry Manilow changed the name of.
Yeah, because he needed a hit. That's amazing.
He needed a hit. Yeah, I watched a lot of 70s and 80s rock documentaries. Sort of my jam.
It's fantastic.
It's pathetic.
It's a good way to spend your time. Definitely. You keep telling me to watch that Billy Joel one, but Then we have Beth by Kiss. Also, I think someone wanted to talk about Jessica by the Allman Brothers. Layla by Eric Clapton.
Yeah.
I mean, it goes on and on. This started because Manny played Maggie May by Rod Stewart, and I loathe that song. Absolutely despise it. Just gross.
And you don't even hate Rod Stewart.
No, I don't actually like his other stuff.
And by the way, it is every single Rod Stewart list. It's listed as his number one song. It's a great song.
Yeah, enough of that, please. Okay, can we talk about some 3-0 teams, please? Because, Pearl, I think you and I might be in a little lockstep on this one. But if you're looking at the 3-0 NFL teams, okay, and I'm going to get them up in just one moment. But if you're looking for who really has earned that 3-0 and it reflects like some sort of greatness, if you will, or, you know, a great launching point of the season, or whether it seems a little fool's gold 3-0, I think you and I are in lockstep, but I have a second team that I'm still out on.
Well, I mean, we've been breaking down the numbers on the Bucks this year. I think you had the stat. Their 6-point advantage in their 3-0 record is the lowest point differential a 3-0 team has ever had.
Ever.
And also the teams they've beaten have only won one game on the season, and their schedule is about to turn much harder.
Yeah.
Not that it matters in the NFC South, but they're definitely they're not going to stay at this level.
No, I think that the 3-0 Bucks might be a little bit of a mirage. I mean, think of also the last-minute wins they've needed, if you mentioned that. They've gotten these wins in the last 59 seconds, literally the last second, and I think there was like 10 seconds left on the other game. They've needed some Baker Mayfield magic to come up with some crazy wins. But can I give you two others?
Yeah.
You know, it's really hard for me to buy Daniel Jones and the Colts. And maybe I'm a little biased because I watched it go so badly here in New York. And I just don't know if this is sustainable for Daniel Jones, because when he's been off to really good starts before, which has happened, the guy was a 6th overall pick as a quarterback. It's not like he has no talent. But when he gets out and runs, and when he's forced to be a runner, he's gotten hurt in the past. It's not that he's not tough. The dude is tough. He's big. But he can get hurt. So I worry about this being sustainable for the Bucs. If you go back to Anthony Richardson, I think you're toast. And then, you know, the 49ers have this really easy schedule. But look at the 49ers. I mean, how many more guys are they going to lose? You're already, lost your quarterback. And then he's back. He's going to be back. But then Nick Bosa is out for the season. It's just a huge loss.
Oh, yeah. It's almost, I forgot the Niners are 3-0 in the sense that, I don't think that is even on anyone's mind there, because obviously it's not just Nick Bosa. You know who else is hurt? Everyone.
I know.
It's amazing. And how long are they going to be able to keep their one wide receiver, Ricky Pearsall, healthy? Not long. I don't even think it matters if Brock Purdy plays, because in a sense he's so dependent on the system. We're not going to do a Brock Purdy system debate, but you need all these guys. You say Daniel Jones is injury prone. McCaffrey. First of all, McCaffrey is not McCaffrey. Have you noticed he is really having trouble running the ball? He's averaging 3.4 yards per carry. This is not Christian McCaffrey, but I think that's in part because there's no receiving threat, so you can gear up to stop him. Opponents know what they're going to do. Yeah, the Niners, I don't think to say they're in trouble, but I feel like that Super Bowl expectation, which I was lockstep with you. I mean, they're definitely a threat. Without Nick Bosa, you would obviously want a mulligan because of that injury, I would assume.
We've seen this movie before, when they don't have him, and how much longer is, McCaffrey going to be able to be healthy? That's just a question we ask all the time. Not looking great.
What about, what team the 3-0 is going to go away for at some point? The Philadelphia Eagles they probably shouldn't have beaten the Rams. I mean, the Rams had 2 field goals blocked. Does that feel like a strong 3-0? And I'm an Eagles fan, full disclosure. But even I will admit, they're still kind of finding their way. New offensive coordinator who just sort of woke up in the second half of last game, and they're still playing Adoree Jackson, who's obviously a weak point that everyone's going to exploit. It just feels like there's some holes on this team.
I got to give you guys the benefit of the doubt because you're the Super Bowl champs. And to me, when I watched the Philadelphia Eagles, I'm like, wow, they're finding ways to win, even though they do not look like they're in midseason form. You always tell me that if Lane Johnson, standout tackle, is out, they never win. Well, they found a way to win, even though Hurts was under duress.
Yeah, I mean, that Fred guy who jumped in was awesome, actually.
Fred guy.
So the Eagles are 3.5-point favorites in Tampa Bay. That will tell us a lot, this game. Both teams, I think, have something to prove, but for some reason I get the feeling like the Eagles wouldn't mind a loss. I feel like the Eagles think that this is not exactly the team they'll be by the end of the season. I think they're going to fix this defense as the season goes along. And, here's the thing. They have the best wide receivers, A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. Throw the football, Maggie. Maggie May.
A couple more polls for you. Will Micah Parsons get booed or cheered in Dallas on Sunday? Right now is a 50-50 split.
Yeah, that's interesting.
He thinks he's getting cheered, which means if he gets cheered and he got more money and he's on a better team,
he's the winner.
He wins across the board. That's like a tic-tac-toe. Just boom, XXX. He checked every single box. So that's at 50-50. You can go vote. Our Maggie and Perloff King of the Mountain project is live, and it is not looking good for Amy Trask's L.A. Raiders. It's the 84 49ers against the 83 L.A. Raiders at the time. And the 49ers are wiping the floor with the Raiders. Pearl, no one tell Amy.
It's not because the Raiders aren't great. I just think that, and it's hard to remember which year is which with the Niners. That dynasty was awesome.
Final one. Do you find I Love Lucy funny? Perloff says no. Well, everyone in America says yes. They're winning 67%.
Let's go.
Yeah, and it's not that show. I don't like any of those black and white comedies. They're not for me.
Boo. Thank you, that man. Thank you, EJ Stewart, Manny Rodriguez, Andrew Bogish, Andrew Kaplan, Amy Trask, and Liguori, the Weedos.